If you've ever heard any of those things, heard of other books, interest part-time for about 20 years. And I'm really looking forward to continuing learning from you today. So huge thank you.
Well, thanks for doing this. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Well, I feel like a good place to start is by diving into one of your core principles of how being remarkable is essential to marketing. Would you explain to me, to my listeners, what you mean by being remarkable and why it's so crucial in this day and age to successful marketing?
Okay, I'll do my best. So remarkable just means one thing: worth making a remark about. It's not a gimmick. It's not a hype or a hustle. It's simply, does someone else benefit if they talk about you? What's in it for them to talk about you? Well, why is this important? It's important because attention is precious and scarce, and they're not making any more of it. So you're not going to be able to interrupt enough people to, quote, market yourself. You're not going to be able to, quote, get the word out there, unquote, because the word doesn't want to get out if it's not remarkable. On the other hand, what modern marketing is, actual marketing, is building into the product or service or the course or whatever it is you're building from the beginning a reason for people to want to talk about it, a service to your folks, to your customers, because people want to connect. They want to talk about what they're interested in. If you give them something to talk about, they'll talk about it.
And let's say, because I know some of my listeners are in this position, let's say that you offer something which is very competitive. So people don't want to share that they've discovered you, that, you know, you're someone who offers something great. What would be your advice to them?
All right, well, there's so many things to decode here. First of all, you only make a commodity product if you want to. If you think it's a commodity, it is a commodity. So if you begin by saying, I'm in a space that's very competitive, well, who chose that? Right? Who decided that you were going to make something that was in a space that was very competitive? If you make hammers and there's 20 hammers in the store, I'm going to buy the cheap hammer because it's, quote, very competitive. I keep saying quote. I don't usually talk that way because it's very competitive. That's not the way you need to be. You have so many choices. How can you be the creator of something that we would miss if you were gone? Because what it means to be missed if you were gone is you're doing something that isn't competitive. You're doing something where you are in a category of one. That doesn't mean you have to make something completely unique. It means you have to solve the problem in a way that makes people insist on your solution instead of somebody else's solution.
So when we tie this into being remarkable, being worth, you know, people talking about the thing that you offer, you know, some of my listeners, I know that they support children who are preparing for very high stakes exams, and parents will often use them, but they won't want people to know that they've used them, or they won't want to talk about it with other people. So in that situation, would you rely on making clear to your audience why what you offer is remarkable?
This is a great example. I'll begin with this. We know that test prep works because tests are stupid and poorly constructed. So therefore, they can be hacked with test prep. Is your test prep demonstrably better statistically than other people's test prep? Probably not. But that's not all you're selling. What you're selling is peace of mind. What you're selling is status. What you're selling is the story someone gets to tell themselves about what they just did. For example, if you make cars and your car costs more than 20,000 euro, every bit above that isn't about making a car that's better at being a car. It's still going to drive. It's still going to be safe. What you paid extra for is the status and the feeling, etc. So when we think about which community you're offering these tests to, and you realize that your user and your customer are two different people. Customer is the parent, the user is the kid. How do you build into the course itself implementation that makes the course work better if people bring their friends, that make it work better if it becomes a circle of people? That's what's missing from your question. So if I think about in the US, Alcoholics Anonymous, which I believe is worldwide, Alcoholics Anonymous, you can't do it by yourself. And so people talk about it, even though it's supposed to be anonymous. You talk about it because it works better if you do. So if I had no choice but to be in the business you're describing, the courses I build would include peer-to-peer practice work. So the only way to be in the course is to have at least one other friend who's in the course. If you don't have one other friend who's in the course, you can't be in the course. And then I would also consider, how do I raise the status of parents who are in the course? How do I, if you had no choice but to increase your price by a factor of 10, what would you add to the course so you could justify increasing it by a factor of 10? Because there's almost certainly a market for a luxury course, a status course, a course where it costs 10 times more because the parents who are buying it get to tell themselves a story that they bought the most hands-on course, the most customized course, etc. So the trap people get into is they try to be just like their competition. They try to play it safe. They follow all the genre rules. And then they're surprised after they do that it's a commodity. Well, sure it is, because you're doing what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, I remember hearing you speak. It was about ideas that spread, and you gave the example of hotels, and you said how the sentence, it was something, I've written it down actually. You said the sentence was, they're all the same, take the cheap one. That's a real threat. And so our job in a way is to really tap into that kind of human-centric approach of how do you create something that relies on someone else or other things for it to work. I know that's something I've heard you talk about that quite a lot. As a small business owner, when you are wearing all the different hats in your business, you don't have a marketing team, for example, you don't have access to focus groups. How would you advise someone to actually approach this kind of creative thinking?
It's not that hard, but it's really difficult.
Yeah.
When I point out to people that every hotel room at 2:00 in the morning is dark and quiet, so therefore they're all the same, they go, oh yeah, of course. Now I understand why I want to stay in a nicer hotel, because it's the lobby and the status and the feeling and the peace of mind and all those other things. It's easy to see it when we talk about the Patagonia clothes or the microphone that we're using for our podcast, or all the ways we are human when we make these choices, until it comes time for us to make something. And when it's time for us to make something, we're afraid of being criticized. We're afraid of being rejected. We're afraid of going outside the lines when we're coloring in the book. It's only fear that's keeping people from doing this. It's not a lack of insight. It's not selfishness. It's fear. So when we can adopt the smallest viable audience, what's the fewest people, and you get to pick them, that if you had them, it would be enough. You get on a new hook. You get left off the old hook and you put yourself on a new hook. Because if I can't make this so that 50 parents would happily, eagerly pay $10,000 for this, just 50, then I fail. Okay, but now you know who the 50 people are because you got to pick them. Go get to know those people. You don't need a focus group. You need empathy. You need to show up with practical empathy because you don't have the money to buy a $10,000 course. But they do, and they want to. But no one's offered it to them in a way that felt like it was worth $10,000.
Yeah, I mean, this whole, when I first came across your concept of being remarkable, I did a bit of a deep dive and I read Purple Cow. And I remember when I first read it, my initial thought was, oh, there you go. My initial thought was, right, so that means I need a gimmick. And then I read your blog post and you said, well, no, because if you run down the street naked, people are going to talk about it, that doesn't make what you offer remarkable, worth talking about, and of value to the people you want to make it, valuable to. And it took me a really long time of thinking about this for that light bulb moment. And I had it when I was listening to Rory Sutherland in a podcast, I think it was. And he said how he was telling the story of Unilever and how they were tasked to make instant soup. So they made it. It's in powder form. You boil the kettle, add hot water, you've got instant soup. But there was one inventor who became really obsessed with the fact that, well, it's not instant if you have to wait for the kettle to boil. And he was the one who discovered or invented the instant hot water tap. And please correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I'm thinking about your concept of being remarkable, of connecting with other human beings, is it's not focusing on the what. It's not focusing on that idea that everyone's going to talk about. It's focusing on asking the right question and focusing on the right problem that you want to solve.
I think we're going to muddy the waters if we bring remarkable into the conversation about the hot water tap. So let's set that aside for a minute.
Okay.
Once you have a roof over your head, enough to eat, and healthcare, you don't need anything else. You just want stuff. And everyone who goes clothes shopping isn't naked. And everyone who goes to a restaurant has food in their house. So we get hung up on needs when we should be focusing on wants. The instant hot water tap is a brilliant invention for people who already have every other one of their problems solved. But they want to have a new problem to solve. When you go to someone's house who has an instant hot water tap, now your kitchen is broken. And for the rest of your life, every time you go into your kitchen and you see the hole where the instant hot water tap should be, you feel bad. And you can solve that problem for 400 euros by going and buying an instant hot water tap. So people who seek that feeling and have those resources do so. The hard work was deciding that that non-existent problem was a problem you could create for people who were looking for a problem. And that's tension. Intentionally causing tension, not stress. Stress is bad. Stress is wanting two things at once. I got to go, I got to stay. I can't be here, I have to be here. Tension is, if I want to shoot a rubber band across the room, I have to pull it backwards before I let it go. Tension is Taylor Swift tickets are going fast and they'll be sold out by tomorrow. Better hurry. One of the challenges that freelancers have is they don't want to create tension. They want to reduce tension. So they try to fit in all the way. But then they're surprised when no one shows up. You can't run across a skating rink wearing wet shoes. You'll slip and fall. You need blades to give you tension against the ice. And that's what we're doing here. Is we're creating tension among people who don't have it yet about this might not work, about I might be left behind, about I might not be good enough to be invited to this. We create tension that causes action.
So when you talk about creating that tension, are we tapping into a want that already exists, or are we creating a desire, or is it a bit of both?
There aren't that many wants. There's, I want status, I want affiliation, I want the freedom from fear. That's pretty much it. So we're just giving new variations to how people can dance with those wants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, in this day and age, we are surrounded by messages that kind of get us on this treadmill of wanting more and doing more. And, you know, I should be publishing content here every single day and there and, you know, dancing on TikTok. And something I found your book, The Dip, really impactful. The whole concept of knowing when to call it and knowing when to persevere. What's your advice with the current kind of landscape for small business owners who feel quite overwhelmed with all the advice and all the shoulds? And how do you choose and how do you know what's really worth persevering with?
You might be overwhelmed because you want to be overwhelmed. It feels safe to be overwhelmed. But you're not an unpaid intern for Mark Zuckerberg, and you're not an unpaid intern for TikTok. And following all the instructions about how you can win this magical lottery of attention is a trap. It's a trap people willingly lean into because it makes them feel busy and safe at the same time. But if you do the math and you take a hard look, you see that some people have to win the social media lottery because it's a lottery, but it's probably not going to be you. And you're not going to make up for not winning the lottery by hustling and hustling and hustling to answer every DM and to fall into this make-believe trap that you can somehow hard work your way into winning a lottery. You can't. Take a deep breath and do the scary thing, which is walk away from hopefully having a stranger bump into you, because they're not your friends and they're not your followers. It's just a hack. It's just a system that doesn't want you to succeed. What you could do is instead focus and breathe and make magical, impactful work for the smallest viable audience. Full stop, done. Because if you do that, they will tell the others. So I don't use TikTok or LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter. I don't use any of those because I don't want to be distracted and a wandering generality. Instead, I show up in one place and I give my readers something that they will benefit by sharing. They don't share it because they like me. They share it because their status and affiliation will go up. So they are busy thousands and thousands and thousands of times a day, more than I ever could, using social media to talk about what I just said. I'm not gifted at this. I just persistently and consistently and generously do it in a way that earned trust. But I'm not keeping track of how many people are reading my stuff. That's not what it's for. I'm keeping track of, did I make an impact on that smallest viable audience? Was I of service? Would they miss me if I had missed a day? You get the chance to do that. And the only way you're going to find time to do that is to turn off social media. Use it if it's good for you. Don't use it if it's not. And you don't have to follow their algorithm. You don't work for them.
What was your thinking, and why did you make a choice to, because you've written your blog for well over 10 years every single day, what inspired that to be your choice and the thing that you wanted to do to make your impact?
Well, I would blog even if no one read it because it's better for my head. It's a useful practice. I just hit blog post 10,000. It's been 25 years. At some point, it becomes a habit, a joy. But I will tell you this. When Twitter first arrived, I was one of the first media people to notice it. If I had gone on Twitter, I would have had a lot of traction and success there. But I said to myself, I remember having this meeting with myself. If you do that, where are you going to take the time? Where's the time to do that going to come from? And what would happen is I would become mediocre at tweeting, blogging, and using Facebook, as opposed to picking one thing and putting the time into it and getting good at it. And that's one of the arguments in the dip, is that if you want to be a meaningful specific, as Zig Ziglar used to say, you can't also be a wandering generality.
And in the dip, something that's very central is, I can't remember the exact wording, but it's about how the most successful people, they quit often, they quit without guilt, they know when to walk away. For someone who isn't an experienced thinker along those lines, how would you advise them to make that judgment call? How do you know when it's time to walk away and when it's time to go through the dip and persevere?
Well, so Annie Duke says it's always better to quit too soon than quit too late. She used to be the world poker champion, so she knows what she's talking about. If you watch great poker players, they fold their cards early and often. But if you're always folding your cards, you're never going to win anything. So what the dip says is find a path that someone before you maybe many someones have made it through. So if you're thinking about being a doctor, every doctor gets through organic chemistry. So if you want to be a doctor and organic chemistry is hard, the answer is good. Good. Because if I get through this, a whole bunch of people won't. And I'm much closer to being a doctor. Don't go try to do something that has never been done before. I hope someone puts in the effort to make a fusion reactor and save the planet, but you probably shouldn't do that. You should probably find a path where you say, if I do A, B, C, D, E, all the way to Z, it's going to work. And so when you get to T or U and it gets really hard, you can look outside and say, wait, these people, when they got to Z, it worked. I'm going through it. That's what a dip feels like.
Yeah. And because I think that's probably one of the hardest things, is knowing and having the confidence and the courage to actually walk away, particularly when we are surrounded by so many, we're pulled in different directions. This person says, you must do this and you must do that, or you won't be successful. And it's so difficult to walk away from that when you feel like, but they know better than me. And, you know, I think that's such a big mind. That's why I think that book's actually so important. It's short, it's sweet, and it's important because now, probably more than ever, we are surrounded by all of those messages constantly. I suppose if we allow ourselves to be as well. And so I think, I think that's really good advice, really sage advice. I wanted to just, if you don't mind, just circle back. You know, the hotel room thing where we were talking about people looking for the cheapest thing. Wanted to just circle back to that because I made a note and I thought of something. Let's say that your audience are shopping around for the cheapest thing because there is this kind of mass consumer mindset, even if you're not marketing to the masses. How do you start to cut through that noise and almost sort of have that wake up moment where your consumer is thinking, well, hang on, I shouldn't be looking for the cheapest. I should be looking for the best solution for me.
When someone tells you they're looking for something cheaper, the answer is thank you. Thanks for telling me that this isn't for you. It is way better to apologize for a higher price once than to have to make excuses for bad quality 1,000 times. And you have to be able to justify, because people who want to spend more aren't stupid. There are other people who are happy to sell them something that costs more. You have to justify why your more is worth it. But to somebody who isn't looking for that kind of more, thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Right? That if you go to Rue Saint-Honoré or wherever in Paris and you go to a boutique, they have that little buzzer you have to press to get in the door. That little buzzer is really important because that's not what they do at Sephora. At Sephora, they don't even have a door. At Sephora, it's if you're looking for a huge range of pretty cheap cosmetics, come on in. At the fancy boutique, it's don't even buzz the buzzer unless you're hoping to go to a place that everything costs a lot. You'll pay a lot, but you get more than you pay for. If you can't articulate why they're going to get more than they paid for, then you're just hustling people. But every single course at MIT is online for free. And paying to go to MIT costs $250,000 US. So if someone goes to the MIT admissions office and said, why should I pay you $250,000? I can take all the courses for free. They will say, please take all the courses for free. Because the $250,000 option is not for you.
Yeah. So it's really understanding that it's not about changing people's minds. It's about speaking to the right person and giving the right person, connecting with the right person, I suppose, essentially.
Correct.
And it makes a lot of sense because when I think of, you know, small business owners around me and things that I've seen, let's say they offer something that's quite expensive. It's maybe their one-to-one time. Often there's an application form rather than a button to just buy, which I suppose is kind of the equivalent of pressing the buzzer for the shop rather than just being able to walk in.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to sell one-to-one time at a premium because people don't know if it's going to work until after they've paid you.
Yeah.
And so, again, we get back to this idea of remarkable. What would make it worth it for me to go pay a doctor $1,000 for a 30-minute consult is if a trusted friend said, I did this and it changed my life. So if you're not changing people's lives, it's really hard to sell something as invisible as that. But if you are changing people's lives, very soon there will be a line out the door.
Yeah. And I suppose also a piece of that is not underestimating how important it is to really understand the people that you serve, truly understanding them, because it's not necessarily a competition to be the best in the world. It's you want to be the best person for that person with that specific problem. So you really have to take the time rather than being on a conveyor belt. You have to take the time and connect with that person, right?
Exactly. You nailed it.
There's something I made a note of this because I think it's a really practical takeaway. From your book, This is Marketing, you give 3-sentence starters to help people actually really start understanding their market. And I wondered whether you wouldn't mind expanding on it a little bit. Your 3-sentence starters was, my product is for people who believe, fill in the blank. I will focus on people who want. And I promise that engaging with what I make will help you get, and then you fill in that blank. Would you mind, for my listeners, just expanding on that just a little bit to give them something they can really move forwards with that's going to lead them down the right path?
So what does it mean to believe something, right? I'm here to help people who believe blank. Well, some people believe that hard work is its own reward. Some people believe that hard work should be avoided. Some people believe that hard work gets you various rewards. And some people believe hard work makes you a better person. Those are fundamentally different beliefs. So if you're busy trying to sell an online course, you better start with which one of those beliefs is someone coming after. So when you think about the CrossFit gym that proudly showed the blisters and bleeding hands of the people who went to the gym, that was very different than the gyms that were popular in New York where you could go in your work clothes and then just go straight to the office because it wasn't much of a workout at all. Which one do you believe when you even show up? And then the want is, what is the change we are here to make? What change are we promising people? Because if you're not making a change happen, why do I need you? I've already got a stable world. So the change you seek to make, what is it? So, for example, if I start by saying, I believe that my job as a member of my family is to protect my family and to do adult things so that in the future I'll be glad I did. Okay. The change I seek to make is to relieve the fear I have that my house is going to burn down and we'll be left with nothing. So if I find people who have those beliefs and wants, I can then show up and say, we sell certified government underwritten insurance with a no fine print policy that if your house burns down, we'll make it right. So it's a very simple thing. If someone is a renter or lives in a tent, they don't want what I have, right? If somebody is living for today and doesn't think that insurance for tomorrow matters, they don't want what I have. That's fine. But I've got to find the people who seek a change, who believe something that fits the change and promise I want to make, and then I have to deliver it.
And with the belief thing, something I wrote down is how people's perception is their reality. And it's so important to remember that, because, you know, I work in an education niche. We're educators. You're an educator. And I think something that is very tempting is to say, I know better, I know best. And so you almost override what someone knows they want. And I think it's a subtle but really important distinction between me saying, I know you need this, and you knowing that you need this, and actually what you think is more important than what I think.
Okay, so we have to differentiate this a little bit. The teacher does know better, but not about what you want, but about how you could get what you want. So what do I want? I want the self-esteem that comes from being at the top of my class. I can't talk you out of that or into that. But what I can say is, I know better about how you can do well on this calculus test. That's why you're here. So we don't argue about enrollment. Enrollment is the emotional connection to a shared goal. If they're not enrolled, kick them out. They're wasting your time. If they are enrolled, then all you have to do is leave breadcrumbs because they want to go where you want to take them. And that is when learning actually happens.
Yeah. So Seth, I mean, I'm aware of time and I don't want to use up more of your time. And I want to just say a really big thank you, because something I find whenever I listen to you, even if you've spoken for half an hour, it takes me about a week to get through it. Because I have to take time to digest. And this is one of those episodes where my brain is still working. And I know that I'm going to say bye and then think, oh, I should have asked that. But actually, I think everything you've shared is really valuable, because something I'm sometimes tempted to do, and I know the people I work with is tempted to do, is to fast forward and gloss over some of the fundamentals. But those fundamentals, and this is why I listen to you and I listen to Rory Sutherland every week, because you keep my mind right. You stop me from fast forwarding and bypassing the stuff that's actually really important. And I think today, everything that you've mentioned is such a valuable reminder in this day and age. Like, it's so relevant right now when we are being pulled in different directions. Information is such a huge asset. You open YouTube, TikTok, podcast, whatever it might be. But you've talked about the fundamentals, which I think are often not spoken about enough. We fast forward a little bit. So Seth, thank you so much for all your generosity today and for being here and for your time.
Well, thank you for leading and for making a difference. It's sometimes easy to forget how much people count on our voices lighting things up for them. And anybody who's doing that is okay in my book. So thank you.
Seth, so lovely to see you, mate. As always, it's an absolute pleasure. Your book, This Is Strategy, is insane. I absolutely loved it. What I'd love to start with, I believe, sort of the original gangster strategist, probably the original gangster challenger brand. Someone I've also read lots about is Napoleon. And
are we talking about the dessert or the general?
The General Napoleon.
Okay, got it. Yep.
Slightly different things.
Given that it's a food podcast, it could just as easily have been the dessert.
What's the Napoleon dessert? Is that like a American brand?
No. It's a French dessert. It's many, many, many layers of stuff with some cream filling inside. It's like a donut.
Yes. Okay, no.
They sell a lot. They sell a lot of them in the United States. I have no idea if they're popular in Europe.
Right. No, I'm talking about the general, and then we can apply it to food. But I've sort of read a lot about Napoleon, and one of his things is speed and flexibility. And so when he'd go into war, he sort of did the Kop's arms. He could split his troops into different sort of segments, and he could move relentlessly fast, but also be super adaptable. Now, in the book, you sort of say, hastiness undermines strategy. And I'd love to sort of explore with you the tension between being steadfast in what you're trying to do and not changing versus moving relentlessly fast and sort of pivoting as you bounce. And we can use any food brand example to kind of explore that.
Okay. So I've done a fair number of conversations about my book, and this is the first time someone has brought up a general and military strategy. And that's fine with me. I am not an expert on military strategy. But what I will tell you is this. Napoleon had a tactic that in its era was a game changer. And the tactic was speed. But it wasn't a strategy. The strategy was take over Europe, right? That he had a philosophy of where he was trying to go and what it would feel like to go there. And then once you decide that your strategy is to use warfare and other things to dominate and gain more power, now you need tactics. And one of those tactics was speed. So let's not get confused about them.
Okay. So speed.
Okay. So let's go to concrete examples because this confuses a lot of people. What is Starbucks's strategy? Their strategy is to offer a luxury brand experience to a certain group of people who are in a pre-caffeinated state, so that in a way that elevates their sense of status, gets them what they want. Now, there are lots of tactics: opening stores in airports, coming up with a brand of ice cream, coming up doing this and doing the other thing, working with United Airlines. These are all tactics to reinforce their arc of standing for luxury in a small payment for people who are looking for a caffeine fix. And when they try to go outside of that, like get known for their egg sandwiches, they fail every time because those tactics don't support their strategy, and they don't have another strategy to go with. We're going to feed people who are hungry. Their only strategy is we're going to caffeinate people who want to be caffeinated.
So I totally get that. So speed's downstream from strategy. When should strategy change? Because say like for example, Dyson started as a wheelbarrow, and then actually it's probably blasphemous if I call it a Hoover, but a vacuum cleaner. He that would be blasphemous. But he started there, and then he went to something different. So where does that fit into things? So the reason I'm asking this is because a lot of our listeners have brands, and I think we'll get really into sort of the difference between strategy and tactics, but they may start with an idea. A lot of the people I have interviewed start with an idea, and then it ends up there as something completely different. And I think what I got from your book is like kind of, pick your customers, pick your future. Like don't change what you're trying to do. But then at some point you do need to change, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So, okay. Dyson's strategy, as long as I've been aware of them, and I was one of their early US customers, is
right
for a certain small group of well-off customers, be engineering forward in selling people at a high price, something that is demonstrably different and even better, where the engineering leads the way. And there are plenty of other vacuum cleaner alternatives, hair dryer alternatives, etc., that don't lead the way Dyson does by showing off just how light the portable one is, just how much wind comes out of the hair dryer, etc., etc. So,
yes. Okay,
that every time he does that, he does better. But when he did things like they came out with a line of headphones, I believe, and the headphones couldn't compete with Sennheiser's in terms of the quality of the audio, because he pretended to be engineering forward and driven, but it didn't blow everything away. If he doesn't blow you away with his engineering, you're going to pick a cheaper alternative. So that strategy eventually is going to peter out, because sooner or later your vacuums can't suck any more than they do. And now you don't stand for something. Whereas Apple has a different strategy. Their strategy is create a luxury good category based on digital experiences and give our users ever growing desire to have good taste about digital interaction. That's what they do. The fact that there's a phone or a watch is a tactic.
It's a tactic. So products are sometimes are tactics as well in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, because what I need from your strategy is the more you do it, the better it works. And you need to be able to tell the people who work with, you don't want it to be a secret. This is our strategy. The more we do it, the better it works. Now I'm going to trust you to come up with tactics.
You say, I want to run through some of the quotes that I highlighted because they're delicious. So small companies ask me about a marketing problem. I respond by saying you probably need a strategy first. What's the difference between marketing and strategy?
So some people use the word marketing to mean promotion. How do I get the word out about this great podcast? How do I get the word out about my store that sells donuts in Napoleon? How do I get the word out? I just got to keep interrupting people. That's promotion. Marketing is the work we do before we do the hard work. Marketing is building something like a fax machine, because you can't send a fax to yourself. So built into the fax machine is the engine of its spreading, which is the more people have fax machines, the more people have to have fax machines because other people want to send them a fax, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a strategy. When I think about brilliant marketing choices, Patagonia made the marketing choice to stand for the earth, to be the brand you buy, to prove you can afford it, and to prove you care more than everybody else. So every time they come up with a new tactic, jackets made out of recycled plastic bottles, a process where you can sell them back or used clothes, right? Every time they come up with a tactic that supports their marketing strategy, they do better. And most people I know in the food business think that being more delicious is sufficient. And it's not. You need a different kind of marketing strategy. More delicious is the cost of doing business. You have to go beyond that.
What's an example of a brand that, in your eyes, that has done that, has gone above and beyond?
Well, so if you name a food business that has rabid followers, I think I can tell you that the reason it has followers has more to do with the story they tell themselves about what they're buying, as opposed to whether in a double-blind taste test they could tell the difference.
Yes. It's the state, like the thing that sort of burnt in my synapses since doing this, like our podcast conversations and reading the book, is the sort of the three levers: the status, affiliation, and freedom of fear. Like I see that, and I now sort of observe brands, and I'm like, so there's a brand over here called Bold Bean Co. Amazing brand. She's basically, Amelia, she's a good friend of mine. She's taken the commodity of beans, like not baked beans, but like beans you get in a supermarket.
Dried beans, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's typically in like a tinned, crappy little jar. She's put it in a glass jar. She's got all these big, like, I don't know if you guys know Nigella Lawson. She's a massive food person over here. That's elevated the status. She's done all these cool recipes. She's created this whole community around it. And then that's the sort of the affiliation. And I think you're so right. It's like the delicious is the benchmark. And then everything above that is status, affiliation, freedom of fear. And I love that. But in the book, you do sort of talk about some other levers. I think those are sort of the base. So those are like, you see that everywhere. And what are some of the other ones that say you've got those covered? Like, what are some of the other ones we could talk about? So I think you talked about luxury, convenience, and are there any food brands that sort of play into those other levers, I suppose?
Okay, so let's go back to the four principles we started with, right? Yeah. Which are systems and games, empathy, and the fourth one. So, but I'm focusing on games right now. Yeah. A game is any situation where there's scarcity and human beings involved. So if I need shelf space for my cola, Richard Branson has the problem, because Richard Branson says, in order for me to get Virgin on the shelf, I got to get Coke to give up some shelf space. It's a game, right? Okay. How do I make a move here so that the merchant who's between me and the customer will take some Coke off the shelf and put some Virgin in its place? That's a game.
Okay.
It is a game to figure out, leaving the distribution aside, how to get people to decide once a week to serve their family spaghetti instead of serving their family pork chops, because they're not going to serve them both. So let's do the spaghetti example because it's right on the top of my head. So if you grew up in the Northeast United States, you may be familiar with a brand of pasta called Prince. And what Prince needed to do was make it so that people didn't feel like they were poor if they served their family pasta for dinner. Because in the 1970s in Boston, if you were a working class family, you didn't want to serve the breadwinner a bowl of spaghetti for dinner. What are we, poor? Where's the meat? So what they did was they came up with a great hook, which is lots of people in their target market were Catholic. And in those days, Catholics didn't eat meat on Fridays. And that was just a given. It's Friday, we're having fish because the Pope said so. So what Prince did was they came up with a marketing strategy. And their marketing strategy is in their slogan, Wednesday is Prince Spaghetti Day. That's it. People like us do things like this. We're not having pasta on Wednesday because we're poor. We're having pasta on Wednesday because it's Wednesday. That's what we do. And so what they did, that strategy move, increased the amount of pasta consumed by a factor of 30. Because you went from almost nobody having spaghetti for dinner to a whole bunch of people having it for dinner once a week. That's a game. They made a move. And once they make the move, they can continue the move. Because now you go to a friend's house, it's Wednesday, they're going to serve you pasta, now you go home. And the more you do it, the better it
So strategy strengthens the more you do it, essentially.
Correct.
Okay, with you. Are there any other examples of that where it, like the compounding of the strategy makes it stronger?
Well, so let's just understand that tactics can be exhausted pretty easily. Spamming people, hustling people, the more you do it, the worse it works, right?
Yeah.
Lowering your prices, the more you do it, the better it works until it stops working because now you're losing money and then you go out of business.
Yes.
So in Walmart's case, low prices is a useful strategy because they can scale, build more efficient warehouses, get better deals. The more they do it, the more they leave the competition behind. It's a strategy for them. For everybody else, it's a dead-end tactic. But let's go back to this idea of food. In the wine business, in restaurants, for a very long time, the more you raised your price, the better you did. Because if wine is a luxury good, purchased by people who can't tell the difference, someone's got to have the most expensive wine on the menu, and it might as well be you. And if you keep defending your position as the highest status, most expensive wine, like Rothschild or whatever, you can live with that for a very long time. Right? If we think about Rolex, which makes billions and billions and billions of dollars, selling something that does not keep time as well as the thing on my wrist or yours, what are they selling? Well, they have to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on partnerships and promotion to keep their status as the one who wins that category. And if you're going to make a run at them, you better be prepared to outspend them, because coming in second isn't going to do you any good. You don't want to have to apologize to your girlfriend for not buying the ring at Tiffany's, right? Tiffany's is where you buy the ring, because then you don't have to apologize for it. If you got a better deal or a better diamond, it doesn't matter. You have to explain it. You don't want to explain it. Just go with the one who has the strategy that's working.
So and then in terms of those other levers, in terms of, so you got the status, the affiliation, freedom of fear. What would you say that two of those are, or some of those are?
Well, there are things we do to support those, but those are pretty much all there are. Right? So, convenience. Convenience, if you can win, is terrific because it gives me time to spend on things I'm afraid of. It gives me time to invest in the other things that I care about. So, but convenient brands aren't beloved brands. They're just brands that might do a lot of sales. But if you want to build
something like Costco, would Costco be convenience because you're getting it in loads of bulk, so you're not having to...
or even just getting an end cap for your brand of bottled water at the supermarket. People grabbed it because they could see it, not because it's one they would go out of their way to get.
With you.
Right? So that if you can figure out how to add convenience to what you're doing, it's a plus. But convenience alone doesn't build you something for the ages.
Mm. You said, another quote, you can't step in the same river twice because your footprint the first time turned the river into a different river and it changed you as well.
Right.
amazing. I kind of get it, but I'd love to sort of explore that, go a little bit, pardon the pun, but deeper into that.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about systems now.
Yeah.
Systems are invisible. They hide. We build culture to hide them. Systems don't want us to examine them. So how much should a wedding in London cost? Probably it's averaging now 120,000 pounds. Why does it cost so much? Because it's exactly as much as your best friend spent, plus a little more. The wedding industrial complex is a system. You don't want to have to apologize for the fact that you're serving pizza at your wedding, so you don't. You have a normal wedding, which wasn't normal 100 years ago, but it's hiding. There's a system. There's a food distribution system. We tend to go to the supermarket to buy food. Well, the supermarket's pretty new. In small villages in France or Italy, you still don't go to the supermarket to get food. And where I live, people go to the gas station to get food because the system of food distribution is changing. So if you see the system, here's a food example. You say, well, how can I break that open? There's no way I'm going to get my dog food into the supermarket when Purina has so much money to spend to keep me out. Oh, but the internet is going to change things. So I'll sell dog food by subscription, by the mail, and I won't sell it in the store. Because you know you're going to need food for your dog forever. So you sign up for food coming to your house by mail. I know how I don't have to cut in the supermarket. I can offer a different kind of convenience. I can offer a different kind of status. And so now we have these multi-million-dollar dog food brands that deliver direct because they played a different system.
I swear it's hard. One of the things I picked up from the book is it's hard to know you're in a system. It's like that. I don't know if you've listened to that David Foster Wallace speech where it's like the two fish swimming along.
What's water?
He goes, how's the water today, boys, or boys and girls? And the fish are like, what's water? And it's like, I feel like a lot of people don't know we're in a system. One of the things I think you're amazing at, Seth, is like observing kind of from like an ancillary thing. Like what's the art of that? And like, how do you kind of observe? Say you walk down the street in New York to get a bagel, for example, or whatever, fill in the blank. Like, how do you observe and then use that to sort of see things and understand things?
If you see something that doesn't make sense, that's new, you got to have an explanation for it. And the answer is probably that's what the system was. So if I go to a vineyard in Italy, I can buy a liter of the best olive oil I've ever had in my entire life for 10 euros. When I was growing up, there was no olive oil in the supermarket. And now I can go to a decent supermarket in New York and spend 60 euro on a bottle of olive oil. Something changed. The distribution method changed. If I'm going to start an olive oil company, I got to realize there's a system at work here. A system that begins with either differentiated or undifferentiated olives. They cost different amounts. A system that's different kinds of processing, different kinds of packaging, different kinds of distribution. And lots of people have come before me, and lots of people make choices about what they're going to buy based on elements of what I just described.
Sure. Okay.
Right? So there's a guy I know, he's an author, and he and his wife started an olive oil vineyard or whatever you call it, Fattoria, in California. And Fat Gold olive oil is sitting in my kitchen. How did I end up with that? Right? Well, what Robin did was he said, look, I got 100,000 people read my newsletter. I'm going to start telling stories, not about my stories, but about the olive oil, and give people a chance to subscribe. That's a strategy with tactics built in. Because now I've got olive oil with a story. I got olive oil that when I serve it, I can tell other people about it. It gets me a certain kind of status, because how many other people have olive oil that one of their favorite authors made, right? So when we're going to the public who has enough food, with food, we have to give them a reason to buy it other than this is food, because they already have food. And it has to be more than I think it's more delicious, because they don't know if it's more delicious. They haven't tasted it yet. So you have these cycles that you have to see as you seek to gain traction, bringing your brand to an ever larger group of people.
It's fascinating. And I think one of the ways to do that you guys call it CPG, we call it FMCG, but like is changing packaging. And that's what the olive oil I sent you, Citizens of Soil, one of the things they've done to change the system is you can buy it in, like, the things you do wine. Like
you sent me one. Yes.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, exactly. You got exactly. And it's like just changing the packaging. There's another brand over here called Innocent who do orange juice.
Yep.
They literally just changed. They put it in a cart. Their sales were bombing. I've interviewed the founder. And they just put it in a carton that looked like this. They just kind of just looked at the system, changed it, and then bosh, this huge eruption of sales. And I that's what I love from the book, is just observing, and they're just having these little tweaks to things.
Right. So, but let's talk about the refill of the olive oil.
Yeah.
Okay. So the refill of the olive oil ostensibly is going to be cheaper than buying the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably not enough incentive to overcome the inconvenience of finding the refill and then doing the refill, spilling it on my counter, etc. I need a better story than that if I'm going to buy a refill. And the story that a refill tells could mean lots of things. It could be you're a better person because you don't want to throw out a perfectly good bottle. It could be that the only way to get a refill is to prove you have a bottle, and our refills are going to be a varietal of olive oil you can't get any other way, right? It could be that you're getting a subscription to this refill thing, and what you get out of that is the knowledge that you're a patron. Because every time we get 300 subscribers, we're going to be able to go to a new vineyard and do a new thing. So let's think about this company called Garagiste. Garagiste, and I don't remember the statistics because it's been years since I talked to them. Garagiste is a newsletter. And what you get is an email, it used to be once a day, describing this insane bottle of wine. And it described it in beautiful prose. Wow. And if you were a member of Garagiste, all you had to do was click a button, and they would take as many bottles as you asked and put them in your vault in their warehouse. And then 4 times a year, they would ship you all the wine in your vault. So you could just collect one bottle at a time, and then you get 48 bottles all at once. And the thing about the way Garagiste worked is it was a delight to read the copy. The copy was the best wine copy you ever read. The prices were about half of what you would expect. And the fact that they didn't ship it to you all at once meant you weren't paying very much for shipping. It was more convenient. And when you served the wine to other people, you got to tell them this great story of all the things, how smart you were to obtain this wine. And once Garagiste has scale, now the system kicks back in, because now they can go to a vineyard that might be struggling, and say, we'll buy all your wine right now. Here's money. Right? Mm-hmm. And when I talk to people about this, I say, how many people do you think are buying wine from Garagiste on a regular basis? And someone says 3,000, 5,000. If I remember, it's 150,000. So if you got 150,000 people who are one click away from buying wine because you wrote a good essay about it, you have a new system for everything in wine except for the growing of the grapes. Everything about it, you've got the power to change.
If you're a challenger brand that's absolutely killing it in D2C, but your decision
comes up with this idea, dubious science, but
talk to me about that, Seth.
Okay, so that's the fourth of the 4 pillars, which is today is not like tomorrow or yesterday. And if we think about how strategy unfolds, somebody at Arm & Hammer comes up with this idea, dubious science, but they make baking soda.
Okay.
The most boring product in the entire supermarket.
Yes.
They come up with this idea. You should put a new box of baking soda in your refrigerator every 3 months because it absorbs all the smells. So
is this baking soda and the baking soda you eat as well?
Don't eat baking soda. No, it's baking soda you cook with.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I meant you cook with, but is that not going to get all the fumes in and stuff?
Well, it absorbs all the fumes. You never use it to cook. You just leave it there, and then 3 months later, you throw it out.
With you. Sorry. With you. Yes.
Don't be sorry. It's amazing that I guarantee you that if I went to 20 of my friends' houses, 19 of them have a box of baking soda in their fridge.
Wow.
This is from scratch. It's everywhere because your status as a homekeeper, home whatever maker, goes up if you're taking care of the smells inside of your fridge. It's only $3. Just put the box in there because people like us, we have a box inside of us, inside of our fridge. So if you're the Arm & Hammer people, some brand manager comes up with this idea and you got to spend a few $1 million in advertising to do it. This is scary because no one knows about this yet, putting it in the fridge. But a year later, when it's working, okaying the ad campaign is easy because it's a new world. And if you want to compete with Arm & Hammer in 2025, you got a big problem because the kind of baking soda you're supposed to put in the fridge comes in an orange box. You can't persuade me to switch to another kind of thing unless you do a new thing to show me that it's going to even be better at absorbing the odors in my fridge, right? Maybe you come out with a box that's shaped in a different way with holes in it. I don't know, but time changed. It's not fresh anymore. It's not a new idea. So, we keep seeing when Howard Schultz started with Starbucks, he had to explain to people what an espresso was. But tomorrow he won't have to because he explained it today. So you have to keep evolving your tactics and sometimes your strategy because the world keeps changing.
Talk to me about scaffolding. I loved that as an idea. And it kind of is just a beautiful way of describing things. One thing, so like your smallest viable audience, and like is I totally get that. And like you're going for this niche, and it's like give them the story to create the evangelists. How does the scaffolding and the story have to change as you move along that adoption curve? Like how should brands think about that? Because ultimately you have to go. There's a few people who love it now, but you have to change and go from mass market eventually. And I'd love to know how you do that with sort of without losing your brand's soul, because that sometimes happens as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think brands have a soul. I think people have a way they are in the world. And I think that we are here to serve other people. And if we can change what we do to serve other people better, then I think that's okay. So let me explain what we're talking about here. This is the product adoption life cycle. For people who are just listening, I'll describe it. It's a bell curve. And what we see is that at the beginning, the only people who buy what you sell are buying it because it's new. And over time, it spreads through the curve to people who buy it because it's popular. And then finally, people who buy it because everyone else has it. So if I think about, remember that AI pin that UMaine came out with 2 years ago? They sold 100,000 the first day. I bought one because I buy things that are new. I don't buy them because they work. I don't buy them because they're proven. I buy them because they're new. When it comes to tech, when it comes to sneakers, I'm never buying anything new. I have 6 pairs of the same thing in my closet. So different people want different things. And so if we go and think about this curve, when you come out with a new thing, you say, hey, it's new. We have whole wheat hot cross buns, gluten-free or whatever it is. I don't know. The only people who buy it the first day are people who want it because it's new. And a lot of food entrepreneurs get in trouble because they think that if they just succeed when it's new, it's automatic that it's going to keep spreading because it's delicious. But when we look at the curve, here's an example of the curve with trucks. The Scout is an electric truck that went on sale in the US 3 months ago. They sold 50,000 of them the first day with a $500 deposit. People who put down the $500 deposit won the new truck. Then there's the worst truck ever made, the Cybertruck. We'll talk about that in a second. Then there's the Ford F-150 pickup truck, the most popular vehicle of all vehicles in the United States. And then there's a 1942 Dodge. Okay. It turns out the curve doesn't really look like this. The curve has a hole in it, a chasm, a hole between things that are popular because they're new and things that are popular because they work. And so when we think about the Cybertruck, the reason the Cybertruck is a failure is because after the people who bought it because it was new, got it, they stopped telling their friends about it because it's junk. So what scaffolding is how do you support the new people long enough and deep enough that they stick it out when it's hard to tell their friends. That scaffolding is the hard work the brand does to get from the early adopters who are looking for something fresh and new to the masses who don't care as much as those people. And over time, you probably are giving up some of, quote, your soul, right? That if you want your rock group to have a top 40 hit, you can't keep making edgy, speed metal, reggae music that only a few people want to hear. That once you give the fans who are like the new thing something, then you start broadening it because you've got to have something that works for the masses. So some food brands should consistently ignore the masses. They should say, it's not for you, right? That a magnificent vineyard should not come out with a low-priced wine for the masses. That will hurt them. They should say, no, this is just for people who understand the difference between a 1969 and a 1970. We're way over here. And it's surprising, but true, how many food brands have figured out that you don't need a huge audience to make something great and a brand that stands for something. And that's the opportunity.
Yeah, I love the idea of that chasm or chasm, however you say it, and I think, what do most people get wrong about that bit? I know you talked about like really supporting those people to share the story. Like, why doesn't the story share? Like, if someone really likes it. So I'm just trying to think, for example, like, how did Tony's Chocolonely cross that chasm? I think that's a good example because
it's a great example.
Yeah.
It was the one I was about to tell.
Okay, great.
Okay, so none of my books have crossed the chasm. Not one. I have 21 bestsellers, and yet I've never reached more than 1% of any population. On the other hand, Harry Potter crossed the chasm. Harry Potter crossed the chasm because there weren't that many. 10,000 nerdy kids fell in love with Harry Potter. But she was lucky enough that local bookstores found that it was an easy book to sell to kids who didn't know about it. That was the scaffolding. If you could get booksellers to feel like their life would get better if they promoted it, they would promote it. And that got it across the chasm to be the book everyone was reading, not the book some nerds were reading. So what did Tony do? So my friend Sean Eskenazi has a chocolate company, one of the first bean-to-bar companies in the US, very opposed to slave labor, doing really important work. Tony sells way more chocolate than Sean does. Tony backs into the chocolate business, doesn't want to be in the chocolate business, and he now sells 25% of all the chocolate in the Netherlands. How? Because he kept making big, cheap bars. He kept making assortment bars. He didn't get precious about it. He got distribution in every store he could find. He kept it cartoonish. He basically said, this isn't a super luxury brand, and you don't have to feel stupid to buy it. He just said, this is the kind of chocolate people like us buy. It's cheap. You can give it out for Halloween, and it's delicious. Notice that nowhere in most of the Tony Chocolonely promotion does he go on and on about slave labor, because that's not why he wants you to buy the chocolate. He wants you to buy the chocolate because your status in the circle you're in the Netherlands will go up if you show up with this instead of some lousy Nestle's bar. Plus,
so that's the story changing then. So the early adopters, it was the slavery piece. As it gets bigger, it is ultimately thick, delicious chocolate.
Yep. And the fact that it's thick is a key piece of this, because someone who doesn't care can tell as soon as they touch it, this is not a Nestle bar. It's twice as thick. It's luxurious. It's probably delicious. That's a story, and he stuck with it, and he stuck with it. And now in the US, in just in the last 2 years, his shelf space keeps growing. You can buy a big bag of Tony Chocolonely pieces for like $5, which is great.
And so one thing, just to latch on to that, Tony's example, which I kind of understood but didn't definitely understood, is the catch-22 of leverage systems. So it's systems, games, and feedback loops dancing together. Right. How could we use Tony's to explore that, like as an example, or as another example?
Okay, so the retailer in the Netherlands has a problem, which is their chocolate shelf doesn't sell as much per square foot as they would like. If you go to a merchant and say, I can increase your inventory turns and your profit per square foot, the merchant will always listen to you, right? And Tony didn't have the leverage to do that at the A&P or a big supermarket chain in the US, but in the Netherlands he did. Because he could show up and say, I got all this media attention, I'm local, and I'm willing to sell at a really small margin so that you can make money. And because I'm going to add energy to your shelf, your sales per square foot are going to go up. That becomes a feedback loop. Because when he gets a little bit of shelf space, if he makes them a little bit more money, they give him more shelf space. And then he makes them more money. And now the energy on the shelf is going up and the other chocolate seems boring in comparison. And he's the normal kind. So now the sales go up again because he's the normal kind. And so he worked the loop again and again and again by making the merchant happy and by giving the customer something that they wanted.
And that's the strategy, like strengthening? Is that part of that? Is that the same part of the equation?
Yes, because the more he does it, the better it works. And so what you're seeking to do as a food entrepreneur is first you got to figure out which system are you playing in. Are you direct to consumer or are you playing with merchants? Right? So, what's the strategy of By the Way Bakery? We've talked about it before, my wife's bakery. Everything she sells is gluten-free, dairy-free, and kosher. So by doing that, she already puts herself in a new category. She doesn't have any competition. She just has to get people into her category. And so the pitch is, don't just buy one or two for the kid with celiac at the party. Buy it for everybody because no one will be able to tell it's not delicious. That's why it's called By the Way. By the way, it's gluten-free. So now you don't have to isolate a kid. There's always room at the table for everybody because we've got stuff for everybody here because we've focused on the people who can't eat the other stuff. And now your status goes up as a mom or a dad because you're the parent who brings something out that all the kids can be delighted with. And that gets you to go back to the store and then you can get hooked on the cycle. That approach to the market is harder at retail because Whole Foods says, we don't care about one family. We have this piece of shelf space. We need sales per square foot to go up. You're not going to get shelf space unless you give us a story that we can use to start the cycle going again. So her wholesale division has a different challenge. How do you create that iterative feedback loop so that people who buy it come back and buy it some more so you get more shelf space so it can be repeated? And in the US, traditionally, the way a big company does that is you buy a ton of ads. Because if you buy a ton of ads, people go to the store and ask for it, so you get more shelf space and it pays for the ads.
I know we're almost at time. Can I ask you a couple more questions?
Yeah, I love doing this.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. So just on the feedback loop. So for example, one of the common issues brands have here is that actually because they're so small, they say availability actually being on shelf is the issue, right?
Yep.
You can do everything you want to get into the supermarket or the grocery store or Trader Joe's, whatever all the ones you got over there. But the issue is that you may not be on shelf because you're a small company of 4 people, and that
Correct.
feedback, does that mean your feedback loop's getting absolutely pillaged because you can't be on shelf? Is that
It means you
like
picked the wrong system.
Right. Okay. So that's why it could be more beneficial at that period of time to go to maybe 5 chains of independent stores in Southwest London because you can control that feedback loop, get that rate of sale going.
You're looking for customer traction. Customer traction solves all problems. People who come back, people who tell their friends, people who would miss you if they are gone. So getting back to chocolate, the first bean-to-bar maker in the US was John Scharfenberger. Scharfenberger decided his system would be to sell bean-to-bar chocolate to pastry chefs. You know where the pastry chefs are. They're not doing anything during the day. You can go make sales calls. And it failed. It failed because pastry chefs do not increase their status by trying a new kind of chocolate. Pastry is complicated, and you put a new kind of chocolate in there and the whole thing might fall apart. Not interested. So he took a bunch to the Berkeley Farmers Market. And the Berkeley Farmers Market is one day, direct to consumer, and he gave out samples. And by the end of the day, he had sold a month's of his inventory in one day.
Wow.
Because what he discovered is if he could look someone in the eye and give them a sample and they could afford to pay $20 for a block of chocolate, they would. New system invented on the spot with a feedback loop. The more he went to farmers markets, the better it did. And once he's got a following in farmers markets, he could go to a store in San Francisco just down the street and say, I'm selling a lot of this stuff. And now he could say to his customers, you can go to this one store. Feedback loop, customer traction, feedback loop, customer traction. If you just get lucky at the beginning, that's going to hurt you because you're going to think you earned it. You didn't earn it. You got lucky. And if you're not getting customer traction, you got trouble.
Is there a feedback loop in terms of the evangelist sharing the idea, sharing the story? Sorry, is that like as
Exactly.
in okay? So it's like, I went to this olive oil club in like this bougie rooftop in London. That's a positive feedback loop because that increases my status. Okay, make total sense.
Right. Or when Apple launched the Newton, they sold 100,000 the first month.
What was the Newton?
Exactly.
Okay.
It was before the iPhone. The iPhone sold almost as many units as the Newton did 10 years before. The Newton comes out, 100,000 people buy it. That's a huge hit. And it fails. And the reason it fails is it didn't work right. And so people like me who bought one told all my friends, it's junk, don't buy it. Feedback loop, wrong direction.
What was it, a phone or was it like a...
It was an iPad, black and white, that you could write on and it could read your handwriting.
Right. I want to talk about like Britain's greatest export, which is rock and roll. And I want to talk about some examples of that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the issues, like I write a newsletter every week, and like I've sometimes over the years had this creative blocks that come, or just this kind of lack of creativity. You're like the Mick Jagger of marketing. You can just keep banging out tune after tune. Have you seen the meme of like the British rock bands that just will just keep creating? What is the art to like just creating like consistently and for a long period of time? Because I've had periods of time where I just feel like my creativity is kind of zapped or zonked out, if that makes sense.
Miles Davis made 50 records, and the Rolling Stones, I think, have made 50 as well. Half of the Rolling Stones records are below average, right? I am going to have a blog post tomorrow on my blog. It won't be because it's my best blog post. It'll be because it's tomorrow. And once I stop debating whether I'm going to have a blog post tomorrow, now the only question is how can I make it better?
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing's true for Mick and Keith. They don't have a debate. Maybe now they do, but they don't have a debate as to whether they're going to make a record or record an album. They're gonna. So what's the best thing you got? And that's what it is to be a professional. You're not waiting for divine inspiration. You're here to serve other people. What's the best we got?
That's like Pressfield's turning pro. Did you ever have any or when the creative juice is zapped out, what do you do to sort of invoke not the divine right, but some people say to me, change your inputs, change your outputs. Like, is there anything you do specifically around that if you're feeling a bit like ugh?
Well, there's two parts to it. The easy answer is do lousy work. Don't ship it, but look at it and say, is that really the best I can do? Because improving it is easier than just starting. But the second thing is you may have a systems problem. It may be that you're trying to push something uphill when you should be doing a different thing that'll roll downhill. And it may be that, like, if you want to be a rock star today, my best advice is don't be a rock star today.
Yeah.
Because we burn down the system. Radio stations don't matter. Billboard doesn't matter. All that stuff. The things that would make Van Morrison a rock star today do not exist. So go find a different way to accomplish what you
DJs. If you go to Ibiza, like DJs are the new rock stars. Like I've interviewed a few DJs, and it's because the whole system's changed. Beatport, SoundCloud, sharing on Instagram. One of my favorite quotes of all time, David Bowie: "The only art I'll ever study is the art I can steal from." And I love that because I think what he's saying with that is you can get these ideas and then you make them your own. And I think that's another part of the creative process of creative act is you get inspiration and then you sort of amalgamate and jumble and mold them into your thing. Well, I know you've talked about Zig Ziglar a lot. I think he was your friend Danny Mayer. Like, what are some of the big ideas that you've kind of used as inspiration and then melded into your own thing?
Well, why don't we reverse David's quote and say, the only art I'm going to be able to steal from is art I study.
Okay, hang on a sec. Yeah, hang on a sec. So hang on that. Yeah, okay. Yes, yeah, with you.
So when you send me the world's best peanut butter, or I walk into the Metropolitan Museum of Art, or I hear a jazz musician I've never heard before, I'm inspired. It doesn't matter what it is. I can steal something from all of those people because I chose to look for something to steal. If something is working, you're watching a strategy that succeeded. Figure out why it worked. Now you can steal from that. And, I give my heroes and mentors credit all the time. The list is really long because I've learned so much from Patti Smith. I've learned so much from Danny Meyer and 100 people in between because I'm looking for things, systems that are working that I can explain and maybe I can borrow.
Did you say Patty or Paddy?
Patti Smith, the woman who sang Gloria and who wrote Just Kids. She used to be with Robert Mapplethorpe.
What did she teach you?
Well, her book, Just Kids, will change your life. The audiobook is magnificent. And I learned about soul and poetry and the liminal state between here and there. I learned about heartbreak and magic and showing up when you have no right to show up. She has lived an unapologetic life of an artist for a very long time.
What did you find hard about originally about showing up without having the right to show up before?
Because I'm a fraud. I have no proof that my next idea is legit. It's new.
Couple more things. I've been starting to ask this question to a lot of guests, and it's like formidable foibles, I call them, and it's stuff when you were growing up. I think people who do great things or interesting things, often at the age of like 16, zig when everyone else zags, or zag when everyone else zigs. And I'd love to know, I asked this to this publican over here called Ocean Rogers. He's got the best pub in London. I was like, what were you doing differently when you were 16, mate? Like, how are you doing things differently? And he was like, he grew up in Ireland, massive rugby culture over there. And he was like, you know what, I'm just going to sing. And he went against the grain and he was kind of ostracized, a bit not ostracized, but just was slightly different. Because like that gave me the courage as I got older to then just look at the world slightly differently. What were you like at 16 to 18? Like what sort of stuff were you doing? How did you zig when everyone zagged?
Dan, this is a bit of a trap. And I just want to warn everyone about this trap. I know a lot of creative people. I know a lot of people who have changed the culture. And the only thing they have in common is they've changed the culture. Some of them were bullied. Some of them were bullies. Some of them were unpopular. Some of them were popular. Some of them decided to sing when they played rugby. Some of them just played rugby. When you hear stories that are interesting to me about my childhood, it's a trap because they didn't happen to you. So it's easy to say to yourself, well, that's never going to work because I didn't have that experience. And I work very hard at not looking back on something that isn't productive. Everybody has an origin story, and it's a story we repeat to ourselves. So Spider-Man's origin story was he bit by a radioactive spider when he was in high school math class. Mm-hmm. If your origin story is, there it goes again, people are always ignoring me, there's your origin story, there it goes again, I always blow my chance. Well, don't be surprised if you do it again. Go build an origin story that's just as true as the other one, where when you get in a jam, you tell yourself the story of that time you were 12 that you were in a jam and you figured it out. That's the secret. Find a productive origin story. Don't worry about other people's origin story.
Find a productive origin story. What did Zig Ziglar teach you? You could boil it down into a couple of sentences.
You can get everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. Don't be a wandering generality, be a meaningful specific. they're called stoplights, but they should be called go lights, because if they're not there, the traffic stops.
Wow.
I got a herd of them. I'm gonna have to sign off soon. But
yeah. Sorry. I could go.
Zig is quite a character.
Seth, I appreciate you giving us more time. It's an utter joy as always. And yeah, enjoy that olive oil. It's delicious.
Well, thank you for leading the way you do. I always learn something when I talk to you. We'll see
I
you
really
soon.
appreciate it. Take care, Seth. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And now,
that has to do with the OJ trial and Judge Ito. That Jimmy Kimmel did not know it. Daniel Kellison from The Man Show, Danny Two Sheets, did not know. These are two guys I look up to in terms of getting references.
we all do.
The great Dr. Drew did not get it. The aforementioned Joe Prano did not get it. Mike August did not get it. And then, I know, that was my reaction. And
Mike doesn't finish the TV Guide crossword, so
he doesn't get it.
blank
get it.
in the family. I don't
Nobody else in this building got it, and everyone was surveyed, young and old. Now, one person did get it, but he's sort of an insider, and that was attorney Mark Garagos.
Oh, wow. All right. It's
All
about
right.
a trial, right?
So, yeah, he probably knows
I like
more
Mark.
about the inner work. Well, he's going to be on the show later, so you can say that to his
I'll be long
face.
gone by then.
All right. So the trivia question was, Judge Ito had a fascination with a certain thing. and he-
Hourglasses.
That's
Wow.
why you're you.
Wow. He didn't even let you finish the question.
That's like the easiest question. How did people not get that right?
Okay.
He was like a moron. It's all over the place. Like he was the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner was playing in the background. He thought he was a freaking wizard.
when I said it,
Who doesn't get that?
everybody human being except for you and I.
You and I will make a pact.
We will bring out.
Oh, he was like a drunken
Right.
wizard. He was like the wizard you don't want to run into in the forest.
That's right.
With his like nerdy white guy voice and his darker jeans.
All right.
Mr. Simpson, I must remind he had one of those voices that just sound like they have bad breath.
Yes.
Like the syllabate S's, that fasting breath.
It's
Mr. Simpson.
We're bordering on a hate crime here, Jay.
I didn't say anything about him
We read it in.
and his robes.
Here's the point. When I initially made this proclamation, I had the same look of exacerbation as you have. I was fit to be
There's
tied.
no photo of him without an hourglass.
If you go back to his junior high yearbook, he's holding an hourglass in front of his face. You can't even tell it's him. Do you guys know that? He was on the lacrosse team.
It was to block out his bad breath, though.
You almost had me, you prick.
I said, when I first made this proclamation, I was just like you. I was like, oh, come on. Everybody knows this, but not the two people that were in the room with
I
me.
assumed you were going to say he had an obsession with hourglasses, and then the question was going to come about like where were
But
they
that's
made?
okay. But that's who you are. I talked to everybody else. Nobody knew what the fuck I was talking about.
And that's why I've never won Guest of the Year. Help you over
Oh,
here.
well, not. The day is young. So, Jay, jumped on it. I knew it.
Look at that. Guy. Look at that. Look at his little baby hands.
Yes. Just sticking out from
He's
his
got like
robe.
little league batting gloves at wintertime. Look at that. Look,
Still alive
just-
and retired.
I would pay money, not a lot, but I would pay money to see him naked.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have a feeling like all the body hair is like completely symmetrical and perfect.
Well, as I've learned from watching a little bit of Japanese porn, the pubes
Or pixelated. His whole body's
pixelated pube. Yeah. No, they do grow like the hairs on the head.
Yeah.
Whereas white guys can have a mullet up top and a fro down below.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
You do know what I mean.
Yeah. So do you really watch Japanese? Joe, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
And
always
he's
have
right.
their hands.
He's right. The little side part down below.
They always have their hands in front of their face. The girls always look like the dog in Duck Hunt.
Could we do this with Japanese porn? Could we import a few of our own to go over there and help the ladies out?
Like chicks from Orange.
Yeah. No, dudes. I'm talking dudes. The chicks, that's going to be self-defeating. I mean, meaning I don't turn on Japanese porn to see chicks from Anaheim.
Yeah,
You know
don't
what I
want
mean?
to go to a car show and see like a dart.
Right.
You want to see like a barracuda.
What's his name? Sapp, the huge guy.
Bob Sapp?
Bob Sapp. Another good reference. Bob Sapp. Bob, you know who Bob Sapp
No.
is? 0 for 2. First
thought you were
Ito.
gonna say Warren Sapp.
Now
I was
Bob.
like-
No, Bob Sapp is the biggest man alive. Was. Still is. Maybe.
He's like if you colored Kimbo Slice outside the lines.
Yes. Yeah. And above. as well. Bob
Yeah.
Sapp
A brawler.
was a massive.
Look at that. How about I eat your cornbread?
Yeah, Bob Sapp is the biggest black man alive. And Bob Sapp realized that he could go over to Japan and like fight in Pride,
Yeah.
and they'd watch it just because it was a spectacle. It's a 6'8" guy, 370 pounds, fighting a 200-pound Japanese guy, and they loved watching Bob Sapp over there in Japan, right? Shouldn't there be a porn version of Bob Sapp who goes over there and lets these guys know how it's done?
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? Or Bob Sapp.
Bob Sapp himself is a porn version of Bob Sapp.
I know.
There's nothing not pornographic about
Not a guy
that man.
like Bob Sapp. Bob Sapp should be doing it.
Is he alive, though?
I don't know, but I'm saying we need to carve a few of the Asian men out of the Asian porn genre and replace them with a Bob Sapp
Buddy,
type.
hey, you're preaching to this.
Would you watch that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like if you know how to search the porn sites right, you can find what you're looking for.
Let
You
me-
know
let me
what?
try
You're
to-
right. You're
Let me try
right.
to crystallize your thoughts. I feel like what you might be trying to convey is that the Japanese men, they really are the governor on the engine
Yes,
of the
porn.
Japanese porn.
Yes, they are.
Right.
They're the restrictor plate
Yeah.
to NASCAR. Yeah.
really-
Yeah. Bob Sapp is only 50, I guess. He's been fighting in there for like 25 years,
Those
I guess.
belts. Like,
I
how
mean,
would you give that guy a shoulder massage?
so we need that in Japanese porn. That's all I'm saying. Let's take a couple of the brothers, let's pack them, they can check their hogs, because they weigh more than 50 pounds. And they just go over there and clean up that Japanese porn, because the Japanese dudes aren't built for porn.
It's very gynecological, too. They're very, and they like to inspect.
Yeah.
It's very,
Yeah.
very...
All right. So we got that taken care of.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you. So the movie.
Yeah.
Now I know from playing.
Hold on, I read my talking points from the from the publicist. It's really a nuanced look at addiction and recovery.
Yeah,
So let's just talk.
through the eyes of softball.
Yes, it's it's like breaking. We're gonna save the rec center. We're gonna.
So
have
Knoxville is a good softball player.
I used to be on one of his teams, and he was alarmingly good. He would show up in like a leather jacket and Chuck Taylors with holes in them.
Yes,
And then he would just hit a home run and make a diving catch in center field.
yes, that's
Yeah.
what he did to me. And then he shows up and he looks like a nerd.
Yeah.
And then he shows up and tattoos the ball
Yeah.
and hits it all over the place. And then you say, and he goes, "Oh, I was a great high school
Yeah.
baseball player, I think, and then maybe even into college as well." So it makes sense that he would be in a movie like this.
I was very happily surprised at what a deep, good actor he was. Mm-hmm. Having been through, my bottom and recovery, he was. I play his sponsor in the movie, and oh my God, I'm so fat.
Oh,
I'm so
it's
fat.
not new
in this.
Skinny Jay.
Oh no. It's me at my head. It's like 238 pounds. But it works because I'm always wearing the tracksuit and a wife beater and my belly sticking out as I'm walking through like an AA meeting. It's hilarious.
Yeah. And how did the weight come off with you?
Swimming, lifting, eating less, moving more, Manjaro.
Where are we with the Ozempic? What's the
I'm not on
feeling?
Ozempic.
I'm not asking.
I would
I'm
never.
saying, what would you think? What would you sign? Would you sign off on it?
Well, yeah. The side effects are looking and feeling fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, I get constipated. Who cares? You're not a fatso anymore if you're constipated.
Yeah, but aren't we sending a psychological message that you're not capable of doing this on your own?
Well, obviously I wasn't.
Oh wait, were you on Ozempic?
Manjaro.
Manjaro's the same?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just the same.
Vicodin, Norco.
Oh, that's not that board game that David Allen Greer plays?
No, that's it. I shoved that up my ass twice a week. Anyway, gang.
Oh, so tell us about Manjaro.
It's like Ozempic. It's a
You
shot.
take a shot.
I give a shot, and then you're just not as hungry.
How often do you do the shot?
Once a week.
And how long do you have to do that for?
I guess it's indefinite, but who cares? Here's the thing. I was swimming every day, every day I was swimming. I was up to like 60 laps a day, every day. I was lifting, I was swimming, I'm doing planks, and the weight just didn't come off. Then I went to my doctor. I got my blood panels done. And then I got this voicemail from my doctor. Hey, it's doctor. When you come on in, I'd like to talk to you about the results of your blood work. And then I'm like, oh, God, I have AIDS again.
Yeah, again.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. 3 times? That's got to be a record. Turns out I was fat. He wanted to talk to me, but he called me obese.
Oh,
he
really?
dropped the O word on me. And I was livid. Like, I wanted to slap him in the face for calling me that, but it would have taken me 5 minutes to climb off that little table.
Right.
And I was like, I was like Joe Pesci. I'm obese. You stuttering. Where do you get your balls big enough to call me obese? You fucking skinny prick. You. And he prescribed the shot. And then I lost about 2 pounds a week, and I've just been losing, and I've just been holding steady at like 188.
What's the sensation?
No, there's nothing.
You're just not hungry.
I'm hungry. I still eat like a savage. It's just he explained to me it's not strictly cosmetic. You get to a point when you're obese, and I was also pre-diabetic, and I had a fatty liver. Like I really did some damage to my body in a very short amount of time. That you get to a point where your blood chemistry changes, where no matter how much you work out and diet, your body's already working a different way, and it's never gonna figure it out, especially when you're in your 50s. So I was like, look, I just want to be me again, because I was,
It worked.
I could put my hands in my pockets naked.
Yeah.
I was a big boy. You ever pull a hamstring jacking off and ride it out? That's fat, I tell you. You're just sitting there.
Yeah. I was watching this Japanese porn once, and So that's you. And now Jay, Jay's had the ultimate makeover, I think. Sober, weight down,
Teeth,
hair, teeth.
Joe's got the head of hair that I wish I was just
everything.
born with.
Joe's got a fine head of hair and a fine beard.
Yeah, I'm not. Beard guys are weird to me. Like to walk around like that all the time and not know what your face looks like. I don't know. That's like, you got
I think it looks
intimacy
good.
issues? Are you afraid to be intimate?
Yeah, I have major scars on the side.
No,
of my
you
face.
don't.
Yeah, I just hide it with the beard.
No, you don't.
It's
You want to hear?
How about these guys that make like beards a cottage industry?
Oh,
It's like, oh no, you know my company, Beard Balm or whatever. And
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
and they're always on like shipping commercials. They never have enough like swag to just have their own commercial for like their beard products. They always like side door them into
Yes.
like a, in like
No, I know what you're saying.
shipping.com. Like,
Right.
when I first started my beard business.
Right, but it's never a standalone
Right.
lone beard grooming, beard balm, beard butter.
Yeah.
It's when we got with SmartBox. SmartBox let us ship directly through
Yeah.
all the states, and so they're doing a SmartBox commercial, but it's about their beards.
It's like the Harlem Globetrotters on Scooby-Doo.
It's almost like they're a beard for their beard commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's powerful.
It's
yeah.
fucking, are we stoned right now?
We could
Bro,
get there.
it's
All
a
right, so
beard.
let me tell you a beard. You got to find the right picture, Dawson or Emmy. But I was watching OJ's Made in America series last night, just because OJ's back in the zeitgeist.
I got it recorded.
And there are some pictures and films of OJ with a beard. And you don't picture OJ with a beard. You picture him with that jawline and that lip, the whole definition. But that guy looked fucking awesome in a beard.
Yes, he did.
He looked.
Teddy Pendergrass. What are we talking about?
You can find a color. Find a color.
Know me by... Look at this guy.
that is a color picture.
That's a crack pipe at the Super Bowl.
He looked awesome in a fucking beard, and the best beard compliment you can give is G.I. Joe's friend. G.I. Joe had a couple of friends that had beards, and they were just the perfect Mattel, perfect length, perfect thickness. Like some guys get a little patchy. Mexican guys can't grow the side thing. They just do the sort of the goatee. Other guys, it doesn't turn the chin and go down the neck. OJ fucking looks stunning in a beard.
That's a handsome man.
Yes.
And like, I didn't even look at the fact that his fro is just out of control, terrible.
Yes.
His natural is like whack. But the beard is
Perfectly
so,
groomed beard.
The beard is so
Afro out of
tight
control.
that the afro, you don't care. Like, if I was a black guy,
No.
No.
OJ in a beard, not a Fu Manchu. Come on.
come on.
Come on.
You're better than that. But that other picture, if I was a black guy, I could see myself. That's how I would want to look.
Yeah. Yeah, OJ looked fucking killer in a beard. And when you watch that show,
minus the crushing weight of guilt from committing double homicide. You know?
well, now it's bringing back all these Norm clips.
My highest clip I've ever done was my OJ clip about Norm. I mean, my Norm. What did I say? My Norm clip about OJ.
Oh, really?
It's like off the charts. Like, so I guess every time somebody dies, I'm gonna just do Norm talking about that person's
You
death.
did Norm talking about OJ.
Yeah, hey, it's Norm Macdonald. You know, I heard O.J. Simpson died. You know, but I haven't seen him up here in heaven. I've been looking for him, but I haven't seen him around. You know, but I'll keep an eye out. Hey, Adam, what do you call a coffin with O.J. Simpson in it? That's a juice box.
Oh, it's good.
See right there.
That's good.
That's all I said. I'm just sitting at my kitchen table in a wife beater. Hey,
So
Wang.
when we should, you know, we're gonna do what we should do one day. Oh,
I swear to God,
OJ in
I
color.
thought that was a boob.
He looks like Lenny Kravitz.
Yes.
I'm gonna fly.
How fucking killer is OJ in a beard? And then you go, man, it's the best looking guy, and everything ran up.
That looks like
full 440.
that looks like 1950s TV makeup beard.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks painted on.
Yeah, that's not the first picture is the winner, Adam. You just got to get with the black and white.
he's-
Pretend you're watching Raging Bull.
Fucking awesome, and I love that movie. All right, so, one of these days, you know what we should do, Jay? Norm, everyone loves
Japanese porn.
everyone's favorite Norm clip is when he and I broke down Coward of the County and other Kenny Rogers songs. Wow. I don't know if you've ever
No,
experienced
I will when I go
that.
home.
We took Coward of the County and Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town, and we just broke down the game film. And I don't know if no one ever did it before, but when you break down those songs, they sound like sort of, you know, country ditties or something. They're not. They're horrible.
dark.
There's gang rape in there.
yeah.
There's domestic abuse, spousal abuse,
Yeah.
infidelity. Like he's going to get a gun and put her in the ground
Yeah.
at some point. He's a Korean War vet whose legs are bent and paralyzed. He marries a young chick. She goes out whoring.
Back
and
to
he's
Japanese porn.
He's in his wheelchair begging
theme.
her
Yeah.
not to go in and fuck strangers.
Yeah.
It's good, but Norm and I sort of tag teamed it.
It's good.
It's good. And I don't know, one of these days, maybe you and I will break it down. Of course, you'll have to be Norm.
I'd love to, you know. I like when Norm gets like real tired, you know, and he's just like he talks to you real serious, you know. He gets like that sleepy voice. I don't know. Like I figure if I wear athletic clothing, people think I'm an athlete. You're always wearing a hoodie, Norm. I just figured if I wear, you know, that like deep
Tired Norm?
Yeah.
Is there any of Norm and Ruby? Oh, somebody made a video out of this?
Wow, that's a good-looking man. God damn. Oh my God.
Three Gatlin.
twins. Had to be three guys that raped her.
Kenny
Yeah.
said that so licentiously, like he was almost. Can you play that again? He sounded like.
Norm
back up, knowing nod,
magnificent.
I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, Gatlin boys come a calling.
That is real
Right.
licentious. You know?
Bad enough when one guy rapes your best gal, and when twins rape, when triplets have at it.
I need some.
I interviewed Kenny Rogers about why'd you call those three rapists the Gatlin boys? Because he's like, I toured with the Gatlin brothers. I go, I know, and there's three of them. He goes, yep. Why'd you do that? You know why? He goes, oh, I remember we were at the Grammys one year and they were rip shit pissed off. Then their mom was mad at me and stuff that I called the three of them gang rapists.
Phonetically, it fits, though. The Gatlin brother.
Yeah.
You could have put Miller. You could have.
You could have put the Miller boys. You could have put almost, I mean, not Feigenbaum or
Dooley.
something.
Dooley.
The
The
Dooley
Dooley boys.
boys.
Yeah, there were three of them.
Yeah. But he didn't. He went with the band he toured with.
Hey, go with what
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I'm really kind of taken by how goddamn handsome Kenny Rogers is.
Also,
Yeah,
a
I
mean,
great
we all-
beard.
I-
Also
yeah,
a great
yeah.
Another
beard.
killer beard.
Yeah. Like, we all know it, but I didn't know he was like Barry Gibb, like top of the pyramid. Like, I'm going to have sex with your wife in front of you, and there's really nothing you can do about it.
He was, well, I don't know.
Like, they make Keanu Reeves look like he shops at Baby Gap. Like, these guys, they're men.
Let's get back to the Ozempic here for a second.
Yeah, I'm on Mounjaro, not Ozempic.
Mounjaro.
Killing a sponsorship deal.
I would love it.
Kenny Rogers, how many husky heartthrobs have there been? Because Kenny Rogers was always husky and always a heartthrob.
It's like Josh Brolin.
And there's just not too many husky heartthrobs. But
Alec?
he was one of them. Baldwin. But Baldwin was svelte, and then he sort of made his way.
For like a month.
Hey, he did like Hunt for Red October or something.
And he just couldn't take it anymore. But I'd say this, heavier Alec Baldwin, that's what the ladies like.
Yeah. I talked to Baldwin once when I was doing Dancing with the Stars, and we just, now we got husky Kenny.
He looks like Harley Race, like from AWA.
Yeah.
He's like an old AWA wrestler, man. Look at this guy. What a gangster. I'm curious if Barry Gibb was husky like that. I don't think so.
No,
if we're
not like that.
He had the husky man's beard.
All right, so if we're doing a NCAA bracket, handsomest man alive, you pencil him in for the Final Four, right?
I got him bracketed in for the husky category.
No, he transcends.
He's a Yukon guy.
Thank
you.
Boy.
Come
How about, so you got him. So it's him. Barry Gibb's got to be in there, right?
I don't have Barry in the husky department.
Forget the Huskies. We're just talking about men. We're going lady Huskies.
I don't have Kenny Rogers in my top 10 of good-looking dudes.
But if you ask a woman,
maybe of a certain age and of a certain region.
No. If you forget like the idiot like Instagram people, like the chicks filming themselves at the gym, like actual women, how you and I know women. Mm-hmm. You ask your gal, I ask my gal. I don't think you can keep that guy out. He's like, I mean, he's like Marquette.
What if he catches bearded OJ in a Final Four round?
Yeah.
OJ might be in that. OJ's Elite Eight.
Are we in a bearded category?
No,
or
there's no category. It's just handsomest man.
Everything's a category for me. Otherwise, I have
so
to
you got
all
Paul
races
Newman,
the
Montgomery
same.
Clift, but they look like fags up against these guys.
Yeah, you're right.
Like they look like fucking gays.
Yeah, you're right.
Well,
yeah, no, I these are men.
Yes,
But I still think that Kenny doesn't crack the top 10 of just the sort of.
I think if you
beautiful
poll your
people.
female audience, look, you were just in Fresno and Bakersfield. What the fuck are you talking
that's
about?
true. That's true.
All right, I'm going Kenny Rogers, Barry Gibb.
Mm-hmm.
Jay has a type.
Bearded OJ. Yeah.
No, I'm just thinking like
Burr Lives.
Burt Reynolds.
No. Now you guys are just you're
Those are
joshing
not
me.
guys with beards. Colonel Sanders.
I'm gonna go. I'll work on this.
All right. So
You got to get Blair Underwood in
Selection
there.
Sunday over here.
Oh yeah, we got to even it out.
There's, I mean, but Franco, like these guys look like tools compared to these men. Look, he's got
Franco
a
Harris.
gut.
No.
Franco Harris,
he's a black man with a hell of a beard.
half black,
Half black.
He's half
Italian.
Adam.
No, there's Franco's army. Those were Italian guys.
Half black Adam. He's
Yeah.
only as black as Barack Obama and Derek Jeter.
I know it was funny because when Franco Harris,
You got to put Garoppolo on that list, maybe. Janine.
when Franco Harris would show up, they had Franco's army at the stadium. All the Italian guys trying to claim him
Yeah,
as his own.
He's all right though.
But the side of him that went for 141 yards today was definitely the black. That's the side that was toting the rock. The Italian side was not that side.
Yeah, Italians are known for switching sides, surrendering.
Yes.
When he fumbled, the Italians no longer claimed him.
That's right.
I believe the Italians lost World War II twice
yeah.
because they switched sides and they got their teeth kicked in twice.
All right. So one day we'll
those
recreate
nutty
these
Italians.
songs with you as Norm. Possibly tired.
You
Norm.
don't think that? I mean, all right. I think Josh Brolin might be in my Elite Eight.
James, look. What if your dad was really good looking like James Brolin? Should we eliminate you? You know what I mean? Like, what'd you do?
Oh, you can't help genetics.
I know, but how much credit? That's Nepo babyism right there.
Well, you don't think Kenny Rogers' dad wasn't good looking?
Roy? Roy and Sheila? I don't know. I don't know. I've not seen. The age might work out. Certainly the country theme.
That was quick.
Thank you.
The gunslingers are here, boy. Joe, what are you, a silent partner?
He's here to observe.
I gave you Colin without words.
I know. All right. Who is Kenny Rogers' dad, and what does
Mr.
he
Rogers.
look like? Mister. Yeah, to you.
Fred.
There he's back. Can I say this? I hate saying this, and I hate when I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I was watching Angelina Jolie with her daughter on one of the entertainment shows.
Brad Pitt's got to be in there.
Who is now doing?
What am I doing?
Now they're doing
List of guys he wants to fuck.
They're doing
I don't want to have sex. I'm not a gay guy. You are.
They're
Wait.
doing a
What, are you?
production of
Wanna hang
something.
out?
They're doing a production of something on Broadway.
Angelina Jolie and her daughter.
And Angelina Jolie's daughter, whatever. But Angelina Jolie is one of the best looking human beings ever come down the pike. And then there's Brad Pitt. Their daughter isn't it doesn't add up.
It's early though, right? How old is the daughter?
I don't know, but the point is 2 10s don't equal 20. 2 10s equal like a 13,
But
which is good.
Yeah.
But it's not that.
I feel like super attractive people, they always show you their pictures when they were a kid and they look like monsters. You know?
That may be.
You guys
that
let me
may
know
be
when
right.
you're done talking about people's kids.
All right.
Kenny Rogers' dad was Edward Floyd Rogers. He was
yeah.
he was a
E.F.
carpenter.
Rogers.
A carpenter.
Carpenter. Played the
I'm
fiddle.
just the son of a carpenter, like my
Played-
Lord and Savior
played the
Jesus.
fiddle. All right.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Wait, look at
Interesting
that
that
freak.
No
Kenny
Nepo
Rogers.
baby there.
Kenny Rogers' mom was named Lucille. You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille.
Yeah. All right. But is there a picture of his dad when he's 50?
there-
90?
No, that's it.
That's
They
it.
didn't
That's
have film
30.
back then.
All
That's
right.
30 years old. I like that frame. The grapes of wrath.
Yeah, that reminds me. I need a new locket. I wore out my own locket. I kept opening. I was like Tom Hanks on that island.
right.
I kept fucking opening
Christmas
and
time.
closing it.
You just
Could
sit
you give me
tight
a
for-
locket?
Yeah, I will. You think I'm joking? I'm gonna get you a nice locket. It's gonna be tits.
Yeah, I don't want anyone else in it but me.
Two different pictures of you.
Just
Kissing
me in the
yourself
locket.
in the locket.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a break.
You would wear a locket of me and Jeannie.
I would.
I know you would. You're a beauty that way.
You get me on the floor of another Lakers game, I'll do better in a fucking locket, man.
Next week
Really?
when Denver comes to town, let's go.
It's so good.
Look, you got to understand something about you. Who else rather than you would we want to hang with at a lake? Because you were in the other section because we had too many guests. Mm-hmm. Like you and me and her and my son, like and Sonny, like that's what's up. Like that's he can hear us, can he?
I had the greatest time at that Lakers game. I didn't even tell you about this. I was going to talk about this. I'm sitting next. Oh God! Now I got to find the guy's name. Dawson it was on some rundown list from 2 months ago. But
Mookie Betts.
I'm sitting
sits
next
by
to
you.
a 6-year-old black man who's all of 5'8.5", and I'm talking to him, and we're just talking because we're just sitting right next to each other. And it turns out he's a Rams coach. He's coaching wideouts for the Rams. Then it turns out he played in the NFL as a wideout for
Billy White Shoes
for
Johnson?
the Redskins.
Oh.
Now
You said 5'8".
yeah, he was a small guy. You wouldn't believe he played in the NFL. Then it turns out he's from the San Fernando Valley. Then it turns out we were on the same junior college football team for the same year at LA Valley College, Monarchs. Then we start going into our coach, Chuck, who was the meanest guy on the planet, and all these other guys that were on the team. Jim Buffo, the middle linebacker. It's the
yeah.
greatest name ever for a middle linebacker. One guy.
That's who you sent
You
to
don't-
Japan to do porn.
That's right, Jim Buffo.
You don't remember the name of your teammate who went on to play in the NFL?
I played like a third of a season and quit. And that was the last I ever played. And then we talked about a guy, which is the reason I quit. There was a brother on that team, only known as Squeak. And Squeak could bench press. He was like 5'10", 200-pound black guy. He could bench press 450, and he ran like a 4.40. And I remember going, "Oh, that's it for me." Like
So
no more competing.
You're saying
with Sweet.
that half of Franco Harris.
That half, the squeak
That's-
half. Yes, and then he and I got into a long discussion about Squeak from 1982.
Things that sound racist but aren't.
That's
The
right.
squeak hat.
I just know when I go home today, I'm pulling up the porn site. I'm squeak fucks barely legal Japanese.
Yes.
I don't
This-
think you should
all
say
right.
that with
Is
AI.
it Eric Yarber?
Eric Yarber.
Okay, we got a picture.
Wow.
All right, Eric Yarber.
He looks like he's saying, "Watch out now!
Yeah, Eric Yarber
Watch out now!"
is 5'8", and I'm just sitting next to
He
him.
looks terrific.
And he played in the NFL at 5'8" as a wide receiver, and then he and I proceed to just talk all weird Valley football talk and all the coaches we hate and everything. And that's the guy
Are
who's
we
sitting
supposed to
next to
believe
him.
that the Rams practice right next to a parking lot?
No, I don't know where this picture came from, but
North Hollywood High.
he played in the NFL for like 3 years, and
is-
he's the smallest person you've ever
He
seen.
is small. Look at the ball. Looks like a
The ball's
fucking
way bigger than
beach
his
ball
head.
next
Yeah.
to his fucking head.
All right.
I love this. He's like the most likable guy. He's
I sat right next to
He's
him and
great.
his wife. Yeah, so wonderful. So when are we coming out again? Because that was the
All right,
greatest thing ever.
Next week, Denver, when they come to town, when we're up, when we're tied one apiece, and
There you
Denver
go.
comes in. By the way, those Ram sweatpants were nice.
Yes. So
You know,
yeah,
pull
where
that
are
picture
the-
back up. You know what makes those sweatpants? You tell me what makes not his package, Joe. Mm-hmm. It's the
The drawstring.
drawstring.
Yeah, that's something.
The multi-fabric drawstring. Yeah. A woven drawstring.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick break. We've got much more to get into right after this. Well, here's a simple life hack, an upgrade. Tommy John. With Tommy John, you're so much more comfortable, so you'll do everything better. Second Skin Underwear has dozens of comfort innovations. Doing shop.
/Corolla.
You are gonna get tight pants. Well, you're gonna think you're shopping and you put on pants that were too tight. You need to go to the Husky section to accommodate all the boner juice flowing through your crank. Yeah. Don't believe me? Watch it. Don't say I didn't warn you. You could mail your semen home to your father. To your father.
Yeah. Well, all right.
Attica.
Let's not focus on the family quite as much, Alan.
It's a family movie, Adam. It's the personal touch.
If we could just get three.
They're all having sex together.
Now, for some new memorable moments, let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
Jay Moore's movie Sweet Dreams, and you can watch that on digital starting April 16th, so that's upon us. Joe Prano is here. And yeah, Joe, you don't know who Bobby Hollander is.
I don't.
It's worth a watch.
it's
It's
worth-
worth a replay.
It's worth a watch.
If I have a vote here today, it's worth putting on.
Listen, I've seen it more than anybody else. I am the curator of Bobby Hollander.
Yeah, you're the docent.
And I'm the docent
Whoa.
of Bobby Hollander, and I can't get enough. This guy was a 70s, 80s porn producer who's talking up his own latest porn
Looks like
film.
Lou Reed Transformer.
That's right.
Hi. You thought it was Alfred, but it's not. My name is Bobby Hollander, and I'd like to
Well, that was
introduce you
his
to
Alfred
a tape
Hitchcock impression? Wow.
called the personal touch. Now, the personal touch is something different in home entertainment. It's strictly adult, strictly X, and it's hot. It's so hot, it's going to blow your balls off. It's going to want to make you wet your panties. It's going to want to make you reach in and grab it. It's going to want to make you come right on your television screen. The personal touch means personal touch. It stars Shauna Grant, Sharon Mitchell, Paul Thomas, Ron Jeremy,
Anderson.
Dominique, newcomer
Bob Sapp.
and Gene Hollow. The personal touch.
Hold on, pause it for a
was
second.
Shauna.
If I owned a porn company and I was friends with Bob Sapp, I would go, Bob, you got to do me solid. This is gonna be the funniest joke ever. And I'd be like, I'd just say to the chick, like, it's your first day in porn? Good, because I got you with a guy. He's very gentle, he's a soft touch. He knows what women like.
And then you blow her balls
And
off.
then I just go, and Bob, when I say he's a soft touch, you turn the corner and come walking into the room and drop your towel, like just to see her face. That's all.
It's amazing that this is the guy that convinced chicks new to Los Angeles to do porn. Like,
I know.
This is the guy you meet on Lancashire Boulevard at a bus stop. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Right.
You know, I got some acting work for you. It'll blow your fucking titties off.
Okay, well, I have a friend whose dad has an unfinished furniture.
Don't be
business.
a bitch. Come with me. Get in the fucking car.
I just came down here to be receptionist.
Get in the fucking car. Look at my cock.
I
You
know.
want to be a fucking star?
Because he's doing a cartoon character of a slimy porn
No,
producer.
you're giving him way too much credit.
No, I'm not saying he's doing it on purpose. I'm saying he's so much that guy, he could be spotted from outer space.
So was he like Damone from Fast Time in high school?
Yes, I think that's what
Like
he was.
who is this guy when he's just home alone with his fucking cats?
All right, his last
pussycats.
name isn't Hollander. He's a Jew. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Producer from the Valley? You don't
going.
say.
He's from New York. Yeah.
Oh.
You could hear that. I like these.
It's going to want to make you reach in and grab it. It's going to want to make it come right on your television screen.
Around.
The personal touch means personal touch.
He likes a good brisket.
It stars Shauna Grant, Sharon Mitchell, Paul Thomas, Ron Jeremy, Dominique, a newcomer to the screen, Gene Hollow.
HOLLOW.
Personal touch was shot on videotape to give you the finest quality in adult entertainment.
That's the greatest
It's going to
era
let
ever.
you, the home viewing audience, get out of your bed, off your couch, out of the bar, and you guys that are watching it in a bar are going to be into the bathroom.
Is this the speech from
All right,
Miracle?
but I also like that
don't-
his
they fuck
audience
us 10
only has
times. They make us come 9, but not tonight. Tonight is your night.
according to him, the audience is only on a sofa, in a bed, or in a bar. No one leaves their workplace to beat off. You know what I mean? No one stops.
Where is this airing? Where is
It's
he
on the actual videotape.
just prior to
Yeah,
the
it's
thing?
like it plays before, right? It plays before the movie.
Yes.
But if you already bought the movie, what's the
Yeah.
advertisement for the
No one
movie?
said he was a good businessman.
He's off prompter. I'll tell you that. He's off prompter.
He
He's not
could
doing
have.
this to his
Oh
kid.
no, yeah. He's just the beats and the offs. He is putting this. He is putting this on other tapes, trying to encourage you to get.
I see.
I think to get this.
So this is the beard commercial in the shipping commercial.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. All right, keep playing it because it's great.
Oh, you balls.
And you guys that are watching it in a bar, we're going to be into the bathroom, pulling your wine.
Brett Mabes.
I don't mean to say it in an obscene way, but we wanted to make it that way. Shauna Grant in this film, whose stars you've seen in Penthouse, you've seen in Swank, High Society, Chic, Hustler, Velvet. You've jerked off to her in Genesis and Gallery. She's gorgeous.
The book of.
She's young,
That's
she's
right.
blonde, and she has a body that'll blow you away. She's going to tell you how you can write to her personally and get a free, black and white, personally autographed photo of her.
She killed
Just
herself
by sending
less
your
than
name
2
and
years
address.
later. After this,
It's no hope, it's no joke.
With the pen she was signing
and
with.
we know
with a
personal
long
touch is
rifle.
hot. Ladies,
I mean it.
go out. I hope you have new batteries for your
Squeeze the
vibrators.
trigger with a clip.
Husbands, whip 5 on yourself.
Yeah.
Do it lubricated.
You know what would look good on this wall?
But
Me.
this tape is designed to make you want to do it. It's directed to you. We hope you blow your nuts off because it was made that way. And before I blast off my mouth and go any further, let me
That's
introduce
enough.
you to
Before
the
I
woman.
We
Here
get
she
the
comes, here she
picture.
comes.
Miss Shauna Grant.
Pull it.
Whoa! Hey now!
She's so excited to be there.
Thanks for the intro. Bobby told you that you can write to me, and I would love it if you wrote to me.
Is she married to Bob Fosse with that
That's
outfit?
right. Bobby
The
Fosse.
address I would like you to send your name and address to is Kincaid, Kincaid, 18653, Ventura Boulevard, Suite 318, Tarzana, California, and the zip code is 91356. Not only will I send you a black and white photograph, but I would like to hear your comments on the video. Then maybe we can come back and see you again.
I'd love to read some of those comments too.
But before we go any further, Shauna's going to make sure that you see this film crispy and crunchy.
Put them in a paddle boat. Look at these two.
Kick off your shoes. Maybe they should unzip their pants.
Ugh.
Drop your pantyhose, ladies. Because Shauna's going to clean off your TV screen.
Take off
She's
your
gonna dust
aprons.
it off. So don't
Dust
get up
it off.
For a minute. If you have to pee, if you have to eat, shut the tape right now. And then put it back on. Because
This
is a
inspired
kid
the
who
skip
sees
ad button.
beginning to
Yeah.
end.
Yes.
And we know a lot of people out there never get to the end.
It looks like a L'Chaim, but he's actually wearing the Van Halen logo around his neck.
On his chain.
You're gonna love it. It's hot. It's a stroker.
Bob, it's abundantly clear.
It's a
There's no more
stroker.
euphemisms for beating off.
I don't
Yeah.
want to be lewd, but you're going to come on your TV.
Yeah, I don't mean to be obscene. But my syllabus are going to really sell this movie.
I don't want to be rude, but you're going to come on your tabby. And then you're going to use that to mop the brow of your special needs child. But I don't want to be rude. It's like, you don't? Because sounds like we're going down that path, Bobby.
This is not the forum for me to get graphic.
That's right.
Don't come on your TV, though.
You're going to be so hard. You're going to stop the wheels of your mother's wheelchair.
That's right.
And she's going to fall down the stairs and bump her head. Not really hurt, just embarrassed.
She's going over the handlebars of life.
Syllabus.
Once you wedge that hog into her spokes. So, if you're in an AIDS hospice or an emergency room or flight control, up in a tower.
Maybe you work in the fucking sewer.
Maybe. So if you're in a crowded sports bar.
Speaking of sewers,
you wanna
here comes
fun.
Shauna Grant.
Oh, God.
Look, she's going to be
Speaking
dead
of
in 2
filthy
years,
holes.
and you're going to wish you came your fucking balls off.
It's the ultimate salute. All right. What?
I love the idea of a guy with premature ejaculation just coming during his speech.
like this.
Yeah, fuck.
This guy, he's just warming it up. He's getting a little blood going in there, and then just pop to a full screen of Bobby Hollander's
Can't believe
giant
that's
mug.
$1 billion industry with guys like that at the top of the food chain.
Well, Shauna Grant, let's see what I can remember. Killed herself, gun inflicted.
That girl.
Yes, couple venereal diseases and a pregnancy, I think, from, her last name is Applegate. She was Christina Applegate.
You're going to
Or
come so
Shauna
hard,
Applegate.
you're going to lose your baby.
That's right.
You'll blow the baby's balls off.
She was from Minnesota.
Ugh.
Minnesota,
Tough hustle.
last name Applegate. About 2 years after this, killed herself. Some
So do you
addiction.
think she came to L.A. to be like a regular actress? Is that like...
I think everyone who's good looking has to flirt with regular acting
Yeah.
before they hang out with Bobby Hollander, right? And then it's also, how did you get in? Yes, how was he able to convince you to do all of these things?
Drop your pantyhose.
Yeah, as a 19-year-old from Minnesota. We're right? She's from Minnesota. You got that,
Or maybe she
Dawson?
just was at home and watched one of those speeches and was really...
She was inspired.
You know
She
what?
stood
like
up
a
saluting at the
Newt
end.
Rockney.
He's the David Goggins of...
It's like, that was like Patton. You know,
Make
at the
sure you
beginning.
got batteries
About
in
2
your
weeks.
vibrator.
About 2 weeks before she killed herself, she was a multiple nominee and a presenter at the 8th Annual Adult Film Association Awards. And the show was held at the Coconut Grove Ambassador Hotel.
Oh, wow.
On Wilshire.
That's where we shot Mafia.
Oh, yeah.
It was
oh,
close,
yeah.
too. Yeah, it was badass.
Oh, you shot Mafia there. Jesus Christ. You know what happened with me in that movie?
You killed RFK?
No, but that's where RFK was killed, obviously. That was a Zucker Brothers thing,
Yeah.
right? I went on an audition for that. And I went down there, and my audition was just for like one line, like a half a line, like I played a waiter. And I had to yell like, Mama Celeste is in the house or something, and it sat down. It was a nothing. And I went down. It's on Wilshire. It's where Bobby Kennedy was assassinated. And it was in bungalows, like in the back.
Yeah.
You know, they had their offices set up back there or something like that.
It's badass.
I forgot you starred in that.
Yeah.
And then I went there and I sat down and I waited in line and I did my one line. And then I went home. And then my agent called me the next day and they said, well, they liked it, but they want you to come down again and do it again. And I said, no. And they said, why not? And I said, because I already fucking drove down to Wilshire. I sat there and I just did the one line. It was sort of like yelling out somebody's name as a waiter in an Italian restaurant. And they're like, you're not coming back? And I'm like, no, I'm not coming back. They should figure it out the first time. If it was a big role, you know, and I never came back. So that's
I
what
did that
happened.
exact thing once on a movie called Blue Streak.
Blue Streak.
Martin Lawrence and Luke Wilson.
Yes.
And me and Martin Lawrence. And I was like, bro, I'm playing Caroline's this weekend. I can't just keep flying to L.A.
Right.
I'm going to make 10 grand.
Right.
And they're like, it's yours to lose. I'm like, that's what they said last time.
Right. So you'd already auditioned a few times with Martin Lawrence?
And they're like, we just need you one more time. And my manager, Barry Katz, goes, well, if this goes on to make $100 million,
right.
Are you going to have regrets? And I'm like, no.
That's Barry Katz.
And then it went on to make $180 million.
Really? And who was the part?
Luke Wilson.
Oh.
Not Owen. That'd be crazy.
Right, Luke.
My Owen Wilson starts sounding like Jennifer Coolidge. Working on it, man.
So, sorry, Shauna Grant
Yeah,
killed
and then
herself.
a couple weeks after the award show, she shot herself with a .22 caliber
Before.
rifle.
Make sure
She
your
retired.
gun's got bullets.
Yeah. She killed
She's gonna
herself.
blow your load.
Leave the cannoli.
You're going to leave your brains
She
all
retired.
over the TV. All around it.
Shauna, this rifle will blow your fucking brains off.
She did 30 films.
In 4 days.
But no. Had sex with 37 men on screen.
Not
And
Bob
then-
Sapp.
And then she retired after she got herpes and had an abortion.
Jeez, way to bring everybody down.
And then she
I
kills
did all that
herself.
before I started.
That's right.
Why take the bloom off the rose, Dawson?
Yeah. And she was what age? From Minnesota and real last name
17 years young.
is Apple.
Here she comes, Shauna Grant.
That's my favorite.
Johnny Grant.
Old time Johnny Grant.
Here
on
she
Shauna
comes,
Grant.
the star.
She was 21.
Oh, that's so horrible.
So that's all that in a 3-year window. I mean, shit.
But did she come here from? She's from Minnesota, right?
All that in a 5-year window.
Yes. She's
At
buried
3.
in Minnesota, in Farmington, Minnesota.
Does she come here to be a porn star? She's amazingly good looking, right? She could audition for, Aquanet chewing gum commercials and toothpaste commercials. Does she have to do this?
Sometimes you fall in with the wrong crowd,
Yeah, rough crowd.
When she arrived in Los Angeles,
Hey,
Whoa.
she unsuccessfully pursued several employment leads.
who wouldn't hire her? She's a beauty.
Yeah, she saw an ad for the World Modeling Agency.
Oh, that's what happened.
Located in Van Nuys.
Van Nuys. Yeah.
Balboa
Sought
Park.
recruits for, quote, figure modeling.
Oh, that's
She visited
what
the
happened.
agency's owner, Jim South, who set up a photo session with
Fake
legendary softcore photographer J. Stephen Hicks. Her first pictorial theme featured a mock camping set and was published by Club magazine.
It's just fascinating, like that leap to like, okay, I'm doing some risque bikini underwear photos, and then the photographer goes, now just like pull that to the side and spread your lips.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a renowned softcore photographer. You got to
I like
listen
the
to
camp.
Ansel Adams of shaved pussy. It's got a reputation, Jay.
You know, I'm laughing at shaved.
I know. I had to put shaved in there. Wow.
Yeah, one of the people working with her
The
said,
funniest words I think in existence.
Shaved and pussy.
Shaved pussy.
I agree.
It's so awful.
regarding her, someone said, quote, I deal with a lot of girls who are new in the business, a lot of young girls, and a lot of girls from out of town. Colleen was so incredibly young and naive. She was completely unhip and not L.A.
Well,
they changed that.
She wouldn't be. I mean, she's only 60 years old today or something, right? I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, she's going to be missed. Bobby Hollander will be missed too.
Is her ghost on Instagram or?
He went at about age 68, I think.
Oh,
as I
too
recall.
soon.
Yeah, too soon. And a lot more porn left in him, and his fans had more semen left in him, and he didn't wring it all out. That was his greatest regret. Is not getting every fucking ounce of sperm out of every human being in the valley.
Because he promised.
He promised.
He promised.
That's right. He's whipping 5 on God right now. That's what it says on his tombstone. Oh, he died at 72. All right, I made it a little later. He got into some trouble. He was on some sort of work camp release thing for a while. He had probably ran afoul of the IRS or something.
Yeah,
there had to be a couple of RICO acts that he violated.
Was he the Burt Reynolds inspiration for Boogie Nights?
I don't.
Same kind of hair.
I don't know if Paul Thomas Anderson watched that or knew about it, but he grew up in the Valley the same time I grew up in the Valley. Paul Anderson did, and the porn was a Valley thing, and you knew chicks who went from high school like into porn. That was the greatest day ever when we found out that.
Somebody was a
Christy
bitch to you in
Canyon
physics
was in porn. I mean, it was like I came home from my construction job, and it's like Christy Canyon. Well, that's her porn name. Her name was Missy. So Missy, I was like, oh yeah, she's fucking hottest chick in this valley. It's like, she's in a porn film. I'm like sitting there going, what? And it's like, it's called On Golden Blonde. I go.
Deep literary reference.
I go, where is it? It's like it's down. Somebody said it's down on that one on Lancashire, down on whatever. It was like that movie Mad World, where 9 guys running downstairs, like jumping over each other, diving into cars, knocking guys off of mopeds and commandeering them, like all just going nuts. Like it was Mad World.
You and Ray in a plane.
Yeah. Me and Buddy Hackett and Ray in a plane.
What?
Like
I can't. Where's the depth finder?
Yeah, like she's in a porn movie. We've been admiring her for years since like
Beautiful woman.
junior high.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I asked her out on a date and she stood me up.
I'll talk to her.
But I got her back. Oh yes, I did.
All around the TV.
We found on Golden Blonde. Oh, we have a video of Bobby Hollander on probation for cocaine possession.
Oh my God.
I knew this was out there somewhere.
That's around the corner.
Debbie's in there getting makeup on now.
Bobby Hollander is on probation for cocaine possession. Each weekend, he must clean up highways for the California Transportation Department.
I've been here 16 or 17 days working with this crew. Some of the finest guys in the highway and freeway business.
It's just only the 101. There's no question. Oh, that's not.
Bobby's moving some mulch.
I love that he's got the exact same attitude. We're going to pick up soda cans, candy wrappers. Somebody pick up old sandwiches.
We're going to pick up so much trash, it'll blow your fucking balls off. Look at this fucking winner. Holy shit, he's got the Paulie Walnuts hair sticking out the sides.
He's the exact opposite of that crying Indian who was by the side. Like, if we could find the 80s version of the crying Indian, like in the 70s, it's, Chief Squano, he's got the single tear, somebody threw fast food out the window. Now we got Bobby Hollander cleaning it up.
Are you I'm really amazed when I see somebody litter today.
Yeah.
If I see somebody just drop a wrapper on the ground, I don't go and confront them about it, but I'm truly taken aback.
It's like seeing someone kick a dog.
Yeah.
It's sort of like,
it's
what?
like, whoa, wait. But that I would actually yell.
You know what I'm seeing a lot of? And I notice a lot of, and someone explained this to me, and I was saddened by it. I started coming across, because I walk a lot, so coming across a lot of water bottle containers filled with piss, just chucked, right? So I see water bottle by the side of the road. There's one on the back road.
So wasteful.
And I'm like, who is throwing who is this person? And then why now? Like, it didn't exist when I was a kid. People take a piss
on the side
but
of the road.
They wouldn't fill a bottle and then chuck the full bottle out on the side, and it says Dasani on it, but it's fucking bright orange, and it's like somebody. And then
it's always bright. Whoever it is always dehydrated.
Tons of vitamin B in their system.
Oh, no vitamin, just dehydration. Like they're gonna have stones.
you take a multivite.
I know, but I don't think the person pissing in a bottle. I just think they've been up all
you
night.
know who they are?
Who's that?
Somebody figured it out. There's delivery guys roaming every neighborhood every second of the day. We did not see, when we were growing up, there was no packages, delivery, UPS, everyone. There's a Grubhub, and there's all these guys driving these vans. There's no fucking piss in the van. In LA, you can't use a bathroom at a gas station. You can't go into the Home Depot and go like, I got to drop a deuce. There's no one will let you use your bathroom in LA. These guys are out for 9 hours.
Excuse me, where's your lumber?
Yeah, nowhere to take a piss, right? So they piss in the bottle, and then they're not in their neighborhood. They're in your neighborhood dropping the shit off, and then they throw the fucking bottle of piss out the window.
This is all clearly laid out in Malcolm X's speeches about black economics.
That's right.
How you make, that's why you live in a bad neighborhood.
That's what happens. You get piss in the bottle.
So if you're wondering, by the way, because formerly I used to be a very chronic in my car in a bottle peer. If you're wondering how many times you can pee in a venti Starbucks cup.
Oh, yeah.
Before the bottom gives out. 4. That's your
4. Did Mr. Owl tell you that? Or
no,
is that something
happened.
you figured out?
I was on my way. You're going to love this. I was on my way to my second mediation for child support. Mm-hmm. And I offered double. This first marriage, I offered double. It was declined. So now I got to go to mediation.
Right.
And I was like, oh my, this is like the worst. I'm running late, of course. And I peed in the Starbucks cup, and the bottom gave out. And I walked in with like, they're already gonna like bend me over a table and take me.
Right.
And I walk in with fucking pee pants.
Oh wow.
I walked in just covered in piss.
It's a good negotiation tactic, though. He's not really doing that well. He's pissing his own pants.
Yeah, tell me where you guys come down on this. It just reminded me. Shit. Anyway, I did a drop-in at the Ice House last Saturday, the Saturday before last Saturday. And I was done, and I went off stage. You know the Ice House, more in the family for you. And I was walking back toward where the bathroom is down the side hall. And Joe, you've probably been there since it's been remodeled. And there's a guy with cerebral palsy, and he was in the electric wheelchair. And his hands are all crumpled up, and he's got the thing, and he's got all the stuff. But he's telling me he's a fan, and he wants to come on the show, and so on and so forth. And he has a water bottle in his lap, but he's sort of trying to hang on to it with these cerebral palsy hands. Yeah. And at some point, he knocks it over directly on top of his crotch. So he's wearing these beige pants. He's leaned back in this electric wheelchair, and there's just this huge gathering of water right in his crotch. And then I go, "Oh, your bottle," and he's like, "Oh," and he kind of collects it. He gets it righted again, but he's now the cerebral palsy guy who just pissed himself. Right? Yeah. There's no fixing that. Right? And I'm like trying to come up with solutions, like I'm gonna tear the sleeve off my shirt and pat it, down or cover it, or take a kerchief and like lay it down or something. He's not bothered by it. I'm trying to explain to him that everyone's gonna think you're the guy who just pissed himself back here, and there's no way around that. You're not gonna be able to talk anyone out of this either with this affliction. And he didn't seem to care. What do I do? What's my move? I mean, I ended up leaving. I just left.
Just start dabbing at it with your hands.
Just dab at it.
Just start rubbing his crotch.
I like, what's my move? This guy doesn't care, but I'm insisting on helping.
Well, that's
him.
Ace. He lives in the solution, and the solution increases. You and I live in the problem increases.
Yeah, so we have the Indian by the side of the highway. Just a sharp contrast to Bobby Hollander and his work by the side of the
Speaking of cerebral palsy, as we pull up Chief Jay Strongbow over here. That's Jules. That's the Passaic River in New Jersey.
He's kayaking.
The Willowbrook Mall is just that frame.
but he finds trash. He finds trash.
See, that would make me nuts.
He's not happy about
industrial age.
Oh, no.
He's a man without a country. Here he comes, friends.
Can't
the
stand
red
pollution.
man.
Yes.
Here he comes.
This is
Watch
like-
out.
It's like a Steelers-Redskins opening.
Yeah, it really is.
The Steelers versus the Redskins.
The Monongahela River.
That's right.
For the natural beauty that was once this country.
That's a fucking Italian guy.
I know.
I know.
They
Right
threw
here, his
trash.
little fancy socks.
Yeah, suede stains. Yeah, he's crying. He's upset. We all remember that commercial. And then it turned into Bobby Hollander doing what he's doing by the side of the freeway.
So I had a guide, speaking of cerebral palsy, I had a guide. For my son's birthday, we went to Disneyland with a guide.
Oh, that guide.
That
guide.
You will, there's...
Joe's poor. Let me explain the guide.
Yeah.
$5.50 an hour.
Thereabouts.
Minimum 5 hours.
But when you go on Space Mountain, you you go from the street to your seat on Space Mountain, and then when Space Mountain ends, you do like this.
He's like the guy walking to the ring with the boxers. Yeah, everybody out of the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's your hype
Yeah.
man, and you just circle back, but you circle. It's the best money you could ever spend.
But
flying private has nothing on a guide.
No, but what about this experience? Because this happened to me. I've done the fucking guide thing more than once.
But you pass people like your friend with pee-pee pants.
Yes, all the little people.
And they're just, we're going to Space Mountain for my son's 13th birthday. Me, Greg Baldwin, my son, his friend. And we're literally going on for like the 5th time. And these people in wheelchairs like haven't moved.
That's right.
And you jump the wheelchair people even.
You jump everyone.
Yeah, like, no, it's the flex, like you flying private, like courtside, like nothing compares, Joe, to this luxury of just walking and just going again and again. And you're walking past speakers that go, it is currently a 2-hour wait from this spot to get on space. And you're just like, sorry about your little legs. I used to be on television. You got spittle all over your lips. You might want to wipe that.
Well, I'll tell you the problem.
Oh, look at his little
that guy
hands.
after the day too.
Huh?
You got to tip him after the day.
Yeah, it's worth it.
The tip. Oh, okay. The fucking tip.
What do you care? You sell
because
booze.
you got someone who's making. You got a 19-year-old, and they're making Mark Garrigas's hourly rate, walking your ass around this thing, and then you got to tip them out. And I don't know what the tip is based on because I just paid you $2,700.
No, you paid Disney.
Yeah.
I get it, but Disney should break off a chunk. Is what I'm saying. I mean, when you pay the guy $2,800, are you tipping at 20%? Like, what are we talking about? Well, here's where it all went south for me.
Yeah.
I did this. I'm a poor person. I mean, I have the soul of a poor person.
Yeah, you definitely
You know what
do,
I mean? And we did
You are
this.
the wealthiest poor person. I
Right.
know.
My first question was, when this was presented to me, I said, I don't feel comfortable walking in front of everybody to the front of the line and just cutting in front of everyone. That feels weird to me. And then it was then explained to me, oh, no, this is 10 years ago. You got your own entrance around the side. Like, no, you're not going to just walk past all the little people and go to the front. And I go, oh, okay, if we got our own side thing, that's fine. I just don't want to walk in front of everyone. And as soon as we got there, it's like, out of the way, knaves. Out of the way, serfs. Like everyone, and I'm like, all we're doing is walking in front of everybody. Yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm like, so I guess people just lied to me because I went like, I don't want to do this. I feel weird about it. But then here's the real problem. The real problem is my kids are 7 at the time or whatever. Oh, speaking of beards, there's a picture of me with a beard. I got a full-on beard, Joe. You're gonna fucking be jealous.
This is when you're on the guide.
It's one of those going down the toboggan. Okay. Got the beard on. Kids are 8 years old or whatever. But at a certain point, after 3 hours, it's like, we're hungry. I go, well, we're still on the clock here, people. Well, we're gonna go eat. What do you mean we're gonna punch out? No, we're on the.
Yeah.
We're eating.
And you gotta wait in line to eat.
My ex-wife is saying to the chicks getting $5.50 an hour, you want a hot dog, a churro? I'm like, hold on, who's paying? I'll take a water. Hold on, the water's $7. Why am I buying you water? You're getting $557 an hour here. And I'm like, and so people take like one bite out of a corn dog, and I'm like, okay, here we go, Pirates of the Caribbean. And everyone's like, relax, we're eating here. And I'm like, okay, but if we take 40 minutes and eat, that's $400.
Who cares?
To sit here.
You ever see a U-Haul behind a hearse?
Crank it up. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good.
You ever seen a U-Haul behind a hearse? Never seen that, have you?
No, you're right. You're right.
But the guide
Jay's right.
The guide has...
Did you guys stop and eat?
Yeah.
Didn't bother you?
No, what do I care?
$5.50 an hour to sit and watch people eat your food?
And here's the thing. The guide has zero swag in the food lines. I waited in line for ice cream for 45 minutes.
He should go to the fucking front of that.
Food line.
Nope. It's like, no, you have no power here.
He should go that's the line he needs the butt cuts for. Oh, it's a picture of me and I think I got a full. I think I got an OJ.
That's OJ's beard.
I got a fucking OJ
That's
type beard.
Hold on, let me take
going on over there.
Let me take Montgomery Cliff out of my top. my final
put
four.
the
And put
Ace
in the
Man
Ace.
in there with the whiskers.
What was our porn guy's name? Bobby Hollander?
Oh, yeah.
I'd like him as the guy pitching you on the guide. You're going to skip the VIPs. You're going to skip the cripples.
You're gonna walk
skip
past everybody with their little baby hands.
Your log flume is going to be
Those teacups are going to blow your balls off.
You can't skip food, though, unfortunately.
How about the collared
Whip 5
shirt?
on that churro.
What'd you guys go in December? A collared shirt, sweater.
It was cold.
And Carhartt vest.
It was cold.
And a knit hat.
It was cold, Jay, and I had my rally beard on. All right. We'll take a break. We got the news. Joe's going to be doing the news. Right. We'll do that right after this. Let me tell you about my friends at Chime. Spring's in bloom. Are your finances in bloom? Take small steps to make things better. Chime, secured credit builder, Visa.
I'm seeing who I just talked to on the phone a few minutes ago, and she was crying. And I asked her what's wrong, and she said, I feel fat. I was like, oh no, why did this I was like, you're not fat. Why are you even saying this? She was like, I was just on Instagram, and there's a girl on there, and she's got a six-pack, and now I feel fat. I'm like, that's something that only women do, right? They see somebody slightly better than them and it ruins their whole day. Like, I'm 6'4". I'm pretty tall by most people's standards. I don't go to NBA games and come home like, I feel short. Like, I feel so short. I thought I was tall, and then I got there, and they were all 7 feet, and this is just gross. I feel disgusting. Tomorrow, I get back on vegetables. And I get back on stretching, right? I'm going to drink a lot of milk. I'm growing. Monday, I start growing again.
Joe Prano is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Jay Moore, Joe Prano in studio. Jay's got a movie, Sweet Dreams, and then Joe's got a podcast, Dirty Sports. And Joe's got some news.
That's right.
As well.
First one here, Ontario resident who wants both a vagina and a penis wins public funding for unique surgery.
This is Ontario, Canada.
That's right.
It's Ontario, California. That guy wants 3 penises, but no vagines, right?
Well, who doesn't want that, right?
I'm saying if you're from Ontario, California, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't conquer the Inland Empire with a penis.
Ontario, a bunch of white guys in Japanese cars acting Puerto Rican.
Yes, that's Ontario. Yeah. But this
Name's
is
Rusty.
Canada.
Yeah, all right.
So he gets a vagina and a penis.
That's right.
And then at some point, someone's like, you're pregnant. And he's like, yeah, I tripped down some stairs.
I have mommy parts and daddy
That's
parts.
Right. Jesus Christ. So it's a
the
dude who wants
public's
a
gonna pay
vagina.
for it.
The public's going to pay for it.
Denying the procedure would infringe on the person's charter-protected right to security of the person.
But I don't get why the public has to pay for all this stuff. My feeling is like, if you want to do it, do it. I tell everyone in California, we're about 5 years behind Canada. So if this is what you're looking for, this is your fucking future. If this is where you want to go, keep going, because that's where we're going.
It sounds like, Joe, in the story that they granted this because it was the most creative surgery. Is that what you said?
The unanimous decision by a 3-member panel of judges could expand access to a novel, quote, bottom surgery for people who identify as non-binary, meaning neither fully male nor fully female.
They have a penis and they're going to add a vagina?
That's correct.
All right.
Has a penis, seeking a vagina.
Well, then he can go fuck himself.
Yeah.
Well, a little on the nose, but yeah.
Christ. You want to talk about, like, if you meet a dude or a female at a bar and you're bringing them home and, you know, you have to have, like, certain discussions, before you go to their apartment. Like, are you allergic to cats? I got a cat. You know what I mean? There's a herpes discussion. But both parts, you got to delve into that before the fucking skirt comes off, right? I mean, before the panties, as Bobby Hollander would say, before the pantyhose drops, you're going to have that discussion with your partner, your potential new partner,
Men,
right?
grab your lube. Women, grab your vaginas. If you have both, I guess, grab both.
Grab both.
Grab a tire iron. So when is science going to make the parts actually look attractive? Because it always looks like they've been in a car accident and went through a windshield.
I think, I was talking about that with Dr. Drew.
I don't want to be insensitive.
I was talking about that with Dr. Drew. But
and by the way, I have 0 point of reference. I'm just imagining.
No,
it looks like a thumb.
It's
where a guy hit it with a hammer.
I agree with you. It's a two-way street because, when they were talking about Harvey Weinstein, they were going, his penis was disgusting. It was like sewed onto his side leg. And whenever they're talking about Michael Jackson or whoever, they're describing their dicks as, oh, there's something wrong with it, or it was bent, or it had a dog leg in it or something. But no one ever goes, that chick's snatch looked like a sea urchin with an M80 in it, all right?
It had a beak.
Yeah. They never fucking do that. Why don't we talk shit about their snatch?
It looked like somebody took a BB gun to an origami swan.
That's right.
Man.
All right, so he's got both parts. You're right. We've not worked it out yet. I think we're sort of where boob jobs were in the 50s.
Are you like
something
me? Like when you find out somebody was gender reassigned, my first thought is, well, let me see.
Yeah.
Like just curiosity.
Yes,
like,
I'm exactly like you, Jay.
Yeah. Like, well, let me see it.
Okay.
Oh, they gave you a cock?
Yeah.
Let me see. Is it a good-looking cock? Like, what they do for you? Do you think that too?
Also,
I don't say it.
The way they construct it, like we take the
they,
urethra and we take the
turn it inside out.
clitoris and we get a fishing knife and we, and they.
Can you imagine a penis as sensitive as a clitoris? Oh my God! You just come constantly.
And they graft skin from the calf and then they sew it on. And
like I wasn't burned.
Yeah. It sounds.
Somebody throw grits in my lap.
Yeah. Anyway, Canada, good luck. Because it's on. Yeah. And taxpayer
If you had
funded.
to move anywhere in the United States, like people flee LA to move, Austin and Nashville seem to be the two places, but I got to be near the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Hey.
I feel the
San
exact
Diego
same
seems like up your grouchy alley.
Yeah, Grouchy Alley.
That's Shauna Grant's nickname. After
Yeah, you're right. Because the ocean is tough. Because it's so there, and you're
I could do
part
Tampa.
of it.
I could do Tampa, West Palm.
Yeah. There's a lot of nice Floridian oceans there, but you can't go anywhere. You're set.
Yeah,
you're good. Sorry. What else?
Nike is being slammed for their skimpy Team USA women's track and field uniforms for the Olympics.
They've always been skimpy.
Yeah. These ones have a bikini-like bottom. My hoo-ha is gonna be out.
Oh, they're doing a
Yours?
bikini.
That, by the way, that's the most
cool.
I've ever seen them wear, because it covers the belly. Usually, it's just there's nothing.
You just
there.
got the sports bra and the
That
bottom.
looks like bathing suits from the 1920s. Like, this is awful.
With the zipper.
Oh, that was a great.
Come to Atlantic City.
There was a great Norm.
Please.
There was a great Norm joke in the first season of Family Guy, and when Norm was Death for the first season, and then somehow I took over for Death on Family Guy. But Norm, God, I think you can find it. Norm went to go visit Peter Griffin as Death, and in episode first season, I think it was the first season, and he showed up, and Peter opened the door and saw Death standing there and went like, "Oh my God!" and just took off and running. And Norm said, I caught FloJo. You don't think I could catch you? And it was such a Norm. We can find it. Well, try it. Let's see what that sounds like.
These are not, I mean, I don't want to speak ill of Nike.
The company has been accused of sexism since unveiling the kit at Nike Air event on Thursday.
I think that's like covering up.
Well, FloJo did wear the two-piece, right?
Yeah.
I guess they're
Half
saying
the
that
ass is always hanging out the back.
It was like, to be fair,
it's like more of a boy short.
they
kind of
ran in like period panties.
Yeah,
Like those are the
Yeah.
period panties.
Yeah.
And then a crop top.
We'll just pull up a picture of FloJo since we're bossing the graphics folks around.
Yeah, all right. FloJo. But
See if I have any heat around here.
I don't know. There's
Go
no
to the
such
front
thing
of
as
it.
coming out with anything anymore where you're not accused of something.
Right.
Right? I mean, that's kind of
That's
kind
way
of where
less.
we are.
That's way less.
Yeah, I agree. And this is in the 80s.
That sure is. It's amazing. Look at that athlete.
Yeah.
She's the best. Look at the abs.
Yeah.
Oh, full head of fucking hair.
And that OJ beard. It's beautiful.
Hero.
Literally died at 41 or something. Just like had a heart attack and died. Why bother getting in shape if this is your fate?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
Do you think that's a steroid-related death?
I
or
don't think
Ozempic.
so. I don't know. I mean, you can find out. You can find the Family Guy, and you can also find out when she died. She died in her 40s. She just died.
Oh, here we go.
I got the clip. Now
Good
you can
job,
hear it.
guys.
Good job.
Hey, Death, you got a file on me?
Yeah, somewhere. It's in the car, I think.
Is it mentioned that I ran 2 weeks of junior varsity track?
Let's not do this. Hey, look, I caught FloJo. You don't think I can catch you? My ankle! Ah! Yeah, listen, don't help or anything. I'm totally fine. Damn Irish.
I got a B+ in health. Is there anything I can do?
Yeah, why don't you boil some water and rip up some sheets there, Einstein? It's a sprained ankle. I just have to stay off it for a few days.
Wait, you can't stay here.
Why not?
You're trying to kill me. Besides, how are we supposed to explain you to Mr. Roper? Hey, make yourself at home, Death. I'm going out for a little while.
Hey, wait. You can't tell anyone I'm here. For if humanity discovers I'm no longer lurking in the shadows, the consequences will be dire.
I love Norm as the voice of the pigeon on Mike Tyson Mysteries.
Oh, yeah.
It's brilliant. I do love a big labia.
FloJo
Just a
died
fucking
in
piss.
98.
She was 38 years old.
Wow.
In her 30s. Yeah. And
Pour one
what
out.
shape she
Pour
was
one out
in.
for the homies that aren't here.
Mm-hmm. All right, sorry. What else?
Just died in her sleep.
Netflix.
Oh, that's good.
Netflix is shifting away from big budget action flicks and big name stars. Tired of seeing the same action movie on Netflix over and over? Netflix knows, and they're working on it. High octane action films backed by big name casts have dominated Netflix. The company's new film chief now wants to change that. It might have something to do with Mark Wahlberg. In 2020, Netflix paid him a whopping $30 million to star in Spencer Confidential, which clocks at the 24th highest paid film role of all time. Critics panned the action thriller.
Hey, Netflix, here's a solution. How about I do a one-man show about having an intervention, going to rehab, and getting sober, and I'll do it for $3 million.
Yeah.
Mighty
some
White of
money.
Me.
Yeah.
I'll
Mighty
save
White
you
of Me.
guys $27 million.
That could be the title of it. Could be Mighty White of Me.
Yeah.
With Jay Moore.
I don't need any help getting canceled, Ace.
When are you going to do your next special?
I just kind of don't care.
Yeah.
I just kind of bob around in life. I'm like a bobber on a lake, just kind of floating there. I just go with the flow. I do gigs. I go out every other weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Do a movie. Like you and I talked about this on the set of Dumbbells, I think. It's like we like to work hard. You said something that stuck with me forever. I like to work really hard once in a while. And I'm like, the guy's a genius.
I think I was talking about sex.
That also. It's like the guy's a genius. It's like, and then we were talking about this, me and you. It's like that's why stand-up's perfect. It's like, okay, I'm gonna just watch TV all day, take a nap or two. Maybe I'll take a steam. I'll order some food. Then I'm gonna work really hard for an hour.
Right.
Then I'm going to go back to my hotel room, and then I'm going to have a week off. Then I'm going to do a bit part in a movie over here. You know what? I'm going to write a book and go all in on this book. And then I'm done, and then I got 3 months off.
Yeah.
Then a neighbor goes, hey, when am I going to see you in a movie? Then I yell at my agent. Then I get in a movie.
Right.
It's like, it's the best life.
No,
You'll get there, Joe. Hang in there.
I agree.
It's the best life.
But you had to be a civilian for a while, and you had to know what work was, and you had to kind of come from work.
Well, you know work. Like, I mean, I was a waiter, and then I just started doing stand-up. I mean, I was getting paid 19, 20.
Wow.
Like I made $1 million at 20.
Really?
Yeah.
Shauna Grant made 1.7 when she was 20, but
well, she's a lot more talented than me.
Dead at 21.
Wow, $1 million?
Yeah.
How?
I
How'd
went
that
out
happen?
every single weekend.
Every single weekend made $1 million in that year doing stand-up.
I mean, I never, and I was doing a lot of colleges.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it just adds up, and then it's like, yeah. Then you do like a pilot for like 50.
Yeah.
Then
holding deal.
Yeah. I never had a holding deal.
Oh, you never had a holding deal?
I never
They're
wanted
the best.
I never, I gotta be able. I'm like a beagle sniffing the ground. I gotta go check out the next yard.
Yeah, well, holding deals like someone just gives you $300,000 and goes, "Don't do anything for a while."
I can't.
And you go, "All right."
It's my dream. That's all I want to do.
When I met with Michael Eisner for the ABC for the Kimmel, I was like, "Wow, this is a lot of money." And then they got to the part where I have 2 weeks off.
Right.
And
it's work.
I can't. I
agree.
can't know that I have to be like when I watch The Office, I actually get a low grade angst watching people go to the office and seeing the same 8 people all the time. I haven't seen you in 3 months. That's why we're always happy to see each other.
Yeah. When are we seeing each other again on the floor of the Lakers game?
Buddy, I got you. Don't be a
I
nudge.
need dates. I could be out of town. I'm trying to figure
It's
this out.
not my problem.
I know, but it'll be...
Go NBA.com. Look up the schedule. We got to go through the Pelicans first.
All right, get through the Pelicans.
So you were saying work hard for short periods of time. That's actually like a very LeBron James end of his career strategy. He kind of waits around. He's very calm. He's very he doesn't, and then he bursts for a few minutes and takes over the game. So the most elite athlete in the world is on your work hard regimen.
The great Sugar Ray Leonard beat Marvin Hagler basically because he said, "Corner, tell me when there's 30 seconds left in this round."
Yeah.
He just bopped around for 2.5 minutes, and then last 30, pop, wins the round, goes back to the corner.
That's how I wrestled.
That's how you wrestled.
That's how I wrestled. I'd be on the bottom. I'd stall. I'd get called for a stalling warning, and then I'd just do 2 sit-outs and do a fat guy roll and just good night.
Pow.
Yeah.
All right, what else we
And
got?
yeah, that is
Joe?
kind of like sex, right?
Yeah, fat
like,
guy roll. Tap out.
You go on top. I'm relaxing.
Critics are calling out the plastics industry over fraud of plastic recycling.
Whoa! No!
I know.
Finally, someone's talking about it.
Only about 5 to 6% of plastics are actually recycled, according to the Department of Energy. The rest ends up in landfills or is burned.
Nothing ever works out. I mean, it's every idea is a good idea with a bad result. Just all these commercials you see and all the thing. Show these commercials, the water bottle, and then turned into a wind chime, a dream catcher for your young child. Or it's always shit. It always ends up on some beach in some war-torn place with some people walking around scavenging and burned. It's just all. It's everything we do is to make us feel good about what we're doing. That's all we do.
I'm reading this book right now, Material World. The six elements that change civilization. It's like sand, oil, copper, lithium, and other stuff.
Oh, it's not the Madonna biography?
No.
Okay.
And very nice. It took me a second.
Jay did a little deer and a fart light there. He did a half a
I got picked off at first. He got me. The pickoff move.
No, he
got
was
caught leaning.
He got caught leaning, and he was thinking about trying for second because he got
always
picked.
thinking about second.
Always
If I'm on
thinking
first,
about-
I'm going to
thinking
second.
about second.
Oh, I'm not thinking about it. I'm going.
Sorry for the Madonna joke.
And it's like people go like, oh, we're gonna get off like fossil fuels, and then we're gonna have renewable energy. It's like, yeah, but to dig for the lithium to make the batteries for the wind turbines, you have to move an aircraft carrier literally of Earth to get one chip
for like one phone.
Right.
So we're doomed either way. We're going to run out of water in 100 years, so everybody just relax.
Right. But it's all, for us, it's just sort of feel good shit. I mean, nothing ever works.
I'm recycling.
Yes, I'm recycling. Yeah.
I want to know how they pick the 5 to 6%. Like, is it a specific 5 to 6%? They're like, oh, we'll just do the cans.
It's definitely not the bottles filled with piss by the side of my fucking street. That ain't it.
By the way, that's a horrible margin of error. 5 to 6%.
Yeah.
Like, well, just say 5.5%.
Yeah. We'll have it.
Government phonies.
Yeah, nothing works. It's all sad.
I'm writing myself in on the next presidential ballot.
We're back to OJ. The executor named in OJ Simpson's will says he'll do everything to ensure the Goldman family gets zero from the estate.
It just never stops.
That's awesome.
OJ
fucking these motherfuckers.
She was 18 when he met her, and he just.
I'd love to.
He just met her at a club, like an exclusive club where she was cocktailing at 18, and he just said, "Who's that?" And then went, "All right, that's
OJ,
mine."
OJ would like to see you.
And then she had the world's worst roommate, because I was just watching this last night. She went on a first date with OJ at 18. Now, he was still married and had kids and all that kind of stuff, but he just went on a date. Her roommate
was like, "Did you see that beard?"
Came home and said her pants were torn. And said, like, "What happened to you on this first date?" And he's like, "Well, he was pretty aggressive, but don't worry about it." Literally tore through denim on the first date, according to the roommate. And then OJ put her up with a car and an apartment and sort of put her over there. And then I guess they got married after that. But tore the jeans on the first date.
Is the executor named?
Let's see here.
I mean, it's like these motherfuckers.
Filed by Cassidy Law Offices. Simpson's longtime lawyer, Malcolm Laverne.
Is Shamil.
But this is the, he says he'll do everything to make sure the Goldman family gets zero. So there's also the, Nicole and her terrible decisions. This guy was just returning glasses.
Oh, God. I mean, yeah. It's too bad the only picture that exists of him is a picture looking like he was trying to fuck her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's got the 80s or 90s like bandana and the 2 earrings, and you go, okay. And then someone goes, "Oh, he was returning her glasses," and you go, right. He's trying to fuck. I mean, I'm not saying OJ's right, but he was right about, because all they have is the bad 90s modeling picture of him looking like a Lothario who's trying to fuck a hot blonde by the middle-aged fat guy named Lou was like, "I'll return the glasses," and he was like, "Oh, no, I got it." And then he goes by the bathroom, he's gargling with Lavoris, and slapping on the high karate. He's like, "All right, I got this. I got it."
At the same time, me and Ace go, no. I was there. Lou, come on.
Lou, come on. I'll take this. I'll run him up. I'll run him by the house.
Yeah, I'm in my 4Runner. I'll just run.
Yeah, I'm going up that way anyway.
I got my new 4Runner.
Yeah.
With my vanity plate that say Gator.
And nobody knows if there was any, but there wasn't anything between them. There's only pictures of him looking like that guy.
Cato recognized him from auditions and was like, "Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Take him out, OJ."
He was a black belt, I understand, right? Ron Goldman?
Oh, there was some story about him having some skill that
Get that jujitsu training.
Don't bring karate to a knife fight.
I saw some comic, Ron, I forget his last name, but he saw some clip on Instagram. He goes, "Yeah, I took karate. I got jumped. And what they don't tell you is karate only works if you're against another karate motherfucker."
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, we were acting it out. There's
if you're just two guys in stances.
Oh, you kind of, all right, now, Dawson, you got to find Black Belt Adam. Because there's a whole movie, basically The Foot Fist Way.
Yeah.
Was a movie that was made essentially after like a 3-minute man show bit I did called Black Belt Adam, although I can't prove it. But we did. I'll show you Black Belt Adam. But there's a quick scene in it where we sort of go over this.
I see that picture. I just think achy breaky heart.
Oh yeah,
that's American.
Look good, Ace.
My name? Sensei Adam. I am going to teach you the art of karate. Rear front kick, left, right, cabbage patch, eagle death claw.
Yeah.
Let me give you a real world scenario. Let's say you're in the milk line at school and a bully comes up behind you and wants your change. Let's say you're at the beach with your best girl and a guy comes up and kicks sand in your face. Let's say you're at a bar tilting a couple of cold ones after work with your buddy, and some drunken townie thinks you've been making eyes at his bitch. What are you gonna do?
All right, now you'll see the display of exactly what you were talking about.
You're at a cockfight, and a couple of the Tijuana locals think you've been winning just a little too much. Let's say you're on the street and a bad guy
This
pulls
is
a
what I'm
knife
talking
on
about.
you. But he holds it more forward. And now he does that thing where he taunts you by throwing it back and forth from one hand to the other, but a little smaller, but faster. Huzzah! Ow! Oh! You're at a strip club and one of the Bettys just told the bouncer you gave her the magic thumb.
All right, we got it. Yeah, I don't know. It reminded me of that.
Sand in the face. Has that ever actually happened?
The kicking the sand.
It's like a go-to bully literary reference, but I don't know if it's ever like. I don't know if. First of all, I don't think
It's
bullies
like
hang at the beach.
It's a Joe Weider thing. Yeah,
Charles Atlas.
Yeah, Charles Atlas. Like you take your scrawny ass to the beach, and then the big buff guy kicks sand.
Yeah, bullies don't
into you
just
and your
roam
girlfriend.
around looking for guys to kick. Like who's? I've never
And then
seen
also,
sand.
they
kicked
didn't
in
give women a lot of credit back then, because then you're just sitting on a towel with your girlfriend of 4 years, and this guy kicks sand in your face, and she's like, "I gotta go suck his cock now." Like, sorry, you didn't have a
You
good
let that
defense.
happen.
You didn't have a good defense against sand. No
Yeah,
one
I'm like-
really has a good defense. Bruce Lee couldn't stop sand.
I'm laying here with
You
my
know?
eyes closed. How do I stop sand in my
You
face?
can't stop sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kick sand on you.
I sent away for the Charles Atlas stuff. It was in the ads were in Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine.
Oh, really?
And it was just isometrics. It's nothing.
It's nothing.
They send you
What
nothing.
do you get in the mail?
It's a little booklet, like when you go to Vegas and they leave in your room the booklet of like coupons.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that.
Uh-huh.
But each page was like, all right, for your biceps, put your elbow in the palm of your hand and push for 20 seconds. This is for my bicep.
Oh, it's like you're in prison.
Or like just push here.
Isometric. Yeah.
It was all isometrics.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I
But
think
hey,
we need to take a
check it out,
break.
bro.
It worked. That and the Kilimanjaro. The Garagos was supposed to call in, but he's not around. But that's fine. We got more news stuff we can do.
I can't believe that's fucking OJ news. That makes me. We gotta.
Why don't we take a quick break? We'll come back, finish up the news right after this. O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts. They're in the business of keeping your car on the road. They.
He's Israeli. He's Baja, California. We love him and we want him. Let's bring him here, buddy. I think you're onto something.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Jay Moore is in studio.
Look at you solving world issues.
Joe Prano. Yeah, it was a whole chapter in one of my books. It's old. I've said it for 25, almost 30 years. Just fucking. Israel's not going to be able to do anything about their neighbors. You're living on a cul-de-sac with crack addicts who fucking are trying to stab your dog, and you mistakenly think, oh, we just want to get along. They don't want to get along. They want you dead. They're fucking nuts. It's never going to work. And the example is like people like, remember you used to have roommates? Well, you were rich at 20, but I always had roommates, you know, and you'd get these, sometimes you have these really fucked up shitty roommates. Like I had a roommate that took a hammer to all the dishes in the sink. Just literally took a hammer. Okay. I had fucked up roommates, you know. But what would happen is like you talk to people and they go, I got a fucked up roommate. And then I go, you got to move out because this guy's going to kill you in your sleep. And they
Israel's got to move out?
Yeah, they go, I put the deposit down. You know, it's my $489 that they should move out. And I go, they're not moving out. They're going to fucking kill you. Get the fuck out of there. And they're like, why should I move out? Because you're going to fucking wake up and this guy's going to be holding a machete over your head. That's why. It's never going to work. Move to Baja, California. Tons of desert, tons of ocean. It's really the same. I did the math. The ambient temperature is like the same, like year round. It's desert meets the sea, tons of space in Baja, and nobody could use Jews more than Mexico. They're literally short on bean counters, ironically. They need the Jews.
And the Baja Strip has the exact same ring to it.
Yes, right? And the Baja Strip. They need the innovation. They need the technology. They need the, sensibility. They need the Jewish point of view and energy. Mexico would be a thriving place if it just imported some Jews. And they, by the way, move out. The Muslims are going to all fucking behead each other. It's all going up in a fire over there. So just go to Baja. And there'll be awesome neighbors, too.
So let's hypothetically, Israel just pulls up in the middle of the night, like does the Baltimore Colts. That's
right.
Relocates to Baja, California. What do you think, Adam specifically, happens in the region if Israel just is no longer, there's not a single Jew, maybe like 3 or 4 floating around, but just now it's just real estate, and you got Egypt, you got Syria, you got Lebanon. Like, what do you think would happen to that region?
They'll have to find a new group to kill. So they'd have to sort of take a vote on like what tribe or who they want to kill now, because they need a new group to kill, and they might send a few people over to Tijuana or Baja or Rosarito or something just to try to mop up some Jews, and they might focus their ire on. Well, they want to kill Jews. Just mop up some straggler Jews. They'd probably come to United States and try to kill the infidels
a little bit. We can't go to Mexico; it's dangerous there.
Who's doing all the accounting for the cartels?
So but eventually they'll start just killing each other, killing whoever's least like whoever the dominant tribe is. So that's what they do. So just moving on to Israel. But Israel, moving on to Baja. I checked the square footage, the acreage. About the same.
No, it's bigger,
It's
right?
bigger. You got a lot more room in Baja in the same temp, same environment, same thing. You'd set up there. They'd fucking dominate. It'd be the best thing that ever happened to Mexico.
You don't think San Diego would be like, Jesus, we got these fucking Jewish neighbors now.
Jewish guys mowing my lawn. Jewish guys doing cinder block work in my backyard.
Human wicks.
The wall has to be a lot smaller to keep out the Jews.
Where'd you get that dreidel? I bought it from this Jew on the side of the freeway. He was selling dreidels on the side of the freeway.
God bless him.
Yeah.
I still love your bit about Hasidic Jews or human wicks. How come more Hasidic Jews don't catch fire?
I've never done it on stage, but it's
just everything about them, just like it's just all dangling.
They're all fucking beard and sleeve, and they're kindling fucking scandals every night.
Yeah, everything's just dangling over flames constantly.
The chaos, everything. Yeah, they're a giant wick.
Yeah,
you're right.
No, it's your joke.
Oh, it's my joke.
I'm reminding you of your bit.
Remind me of my bit.
He's like, that's genius.
That's
you thought
genius,
of it.
that bit. Yeah. All right. Is there another story?
There is. We have the Menendez brothers.
Yeah.
Await a decision they hope will free them. They've never denied killing their parents, but the reason was always they said they were sexually abused. And there's new evidence that corroborates the longstanding claims and lessens their culpability. Lyle and Eric should have been convicted of manslaughter instead of first-degree murder. And if they had been, they'd have received a much shorter sentence and been out of prison a long time ago. And it looks like it's a new evidence.
They look great.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen you guys know about the Mark Jackson basketball card with them in the background?
Yeah,
That's one of the most amazing things ever. There's a new evidence that includes a letter that Gardner says was written by Eric to Eric's cousin in December 1988, about 8 months before the crime. The letter reads in part, "I've been trying to avoid Dad. It's still happening, but it's worse for me now."
But every teenager sends one of those letters off. I sent my dad's butt fucking me letter off to my cousin Greg. He wasn't fucking me at the time, but I was
Ben
like,
Stiller
in case the shit goes down, I want to be covered.
How is Ben Stiller not played Lyle? Look at this.
Yeah. All All right. So,
How long have they been in for? 30,
Yeah.
20, how long?
Yeah, it's early 90s.
They should be out. They should be out.
As someone, I think the only guy at this table that's actually gone repeatedly to speak to guys that are in prison without parole. It's
I love that you just assume that about me. That's not what I'm doing.
my takeaway every time I leave is it changes. If you ever go into prison and meet somebody that's been there since like 90 or 88 or 98, it just is so inconceivable that this person's been here for this long. Because when you meet them, they're not like a guy like stabbing your father or stabbing like somebody or beating an old lady to death or whatever. They're just guys just making I made a horrible, I'm not eloquent in this, but it's just like, send them home.
We did a Man Show bit where we went to prison and they put us in the well-behaved group. You know, if you want your freedom, relatively, you can be in this group, but you can't fuck with other prisoners or we'll pull you out of this group. So it's a sort of get-along group. And there was a guy, I'll never forget this guy. He played the guitar. He wore glasses. He looked like Miranda's pussy-whipped husband from Sex and the City. Like that guy. It's just like a nice-looking, kind of unassuming white guy, you know? And I was like, so first things first, he's like 35, you know, he's playing the shit out of this guitar. And I go, well, that's nice. They let you bring your guitar in or pick up with the guitar, you know, where you left off or whatever. And he goes, I didn't know how to play the guitar when I got here. And I was like, oh, but you're so good on the guitar. He said, yeah, I've been here for 15 years.
Yeah.
Like I started playing when I got here or learning. Now I'm good. He was just a sweet, like unassuming guy. Had these like round John Lennon spectacles, you know, and I just said, so that's stupid of me, but I go, when are you getting out? And he goes, never.
Yeah.
And I was like, but he's just, how long you been here? Is it 19? And I was like, it was just, oh yeah,
it really changes.
You're never going anywhere. You're never leaving.
Yeah.
So Garagos represents these guys now. And there was a little bit of a breakthrough because there was some DA or something. It doesn't look good politically for you to pardon the Menendez boys when you're running for office, but someone ran for office, won the election, and now they can do whatever. And they're going to get out. And when they get out, they're getting paid. Because, like, remember when Leno burnt half his face off?
Yeah.
And I ran into him in Malibu, and I said, Jay, you should come on the podcast and talk about it. And he goes, okay, but first I got to talk to people, and then I can come on the podcast, because they have an exclusive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the exclusive for the Menendez story, that's not going to be $2 million. That's going to be $10 million.
Do you think so?
You
Yeah,
think it's
like
still,
there's
there are people like, do you think it's still a hot story for them to get out? And
They'll start to gin it up. We'll start to hear about it. We'll get a little into it, and there's going to be some bidding going on, and there's going to be a real premium for their sit down, like their first sit down. And as I always tell everybody, I know the parents were horrible because I have twins, and if my daughter came into my son's room and was like, I'm thinking about killing mom and dad on Sunday with a shotgun. What do you think? And my son went, this Sunday or the following Sunday? That meant we were fucking horrible parents. That's my only head on this. This guy seemed like he was a horrible guy, and he did seem, and all the allegations of sexual abuse and everything were like inadmissible. But I think the real culprit, Dawson, you have to do some work here, you and Byron. It just popped in my head. The real reason the Menendez brothers got locked up for life, and the real reason OJ became a free man, is the defense attorney for the Menendez brothers had fucked up Jerry curl hair, and Marcia Clark had fucked up Jerry curl hair when she was trying to put OJ away.
Unfortunate
and
hair,
you can
for sure.
blame both of the either lack of conviction or the conviction on their representatives.
Marcia Clark looked like Pau Gasol.
Yeah.
And ostrich hair.
Yeah. Oh, I could. Man, I could go a real deep cut for
I'm
you.
so pleased with myself.
That's a good cut. You want to go deeper?
Yeah.
Oh, God. There's an actor who played in the movie Earthquake.
I got
Marjoe Gortner. Marjoe Gortner. Do you remember Marjoe Gortner?
No.
That's his name. He's a character actor.
He's a man.
Man, worked a ton.
Jay's on Marjoe Gortner to lose weight.
Marjoe Gortner was a busy character actor who played a weird gay Marine in the movie Earthquake and used to put on in the movie a weird fro blonde wig. All right, find that. Okay, find those representatives, and then we'll get back.
Marjoe Gortner without the wig looks like he could make Jay's hot man list.
Look at she's going.
All right, am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right? Their hair lost the case for both their clients.
Yeah.
One of the citizens of
Bernie Sanders
California.
lost the presidency because all he needed was a comb.
Right. Yeah.
One thing I'll tell you is I love to run my comb on the water and comb my hair with it, but not this morning on the most important day when I'm talking to millions of people. Whose bird is that?
What is? I'm telling you, you're going to know Margot Gortner. Was it Margot?
Marjoe
Gortner.
That fucking perm on Marsha Clark. I mean, that's like my sisters and mom, 1980. You come home, the whole fucking kitchen smells, that perm smell.
Yes.
Everyone's walking around with aluminum foil in their hair.
Yes.
And you're like, well, I've got to go outside. I'm going to pass out.
Yes.
And she's like, no, I got something real special for the trial. Wait, and then,
I think their hair lost them the cases.
I don't think you're wrong. I don't know if you're right, but you're not.
No, from the movie Earthquake. That's
that
what we
is
need it from.
HIV plus. That guy needs broth.
Marjoe's still alive.
Was that him?
It was Marjoe. His IMDb is.
Was that the guy that just flashed up there?
Yeah, but he's got I needed the wig from the. I need him from the movie Earthquake.
He looks like the snooty guy from Benson a little bit in that picture.
What's his IMDb, Joe?
Is this? I think we got you here. Marjoe Gortner Earthquake.
Yes, there he is.
Looks like a Gatlin brother.
Mm-hmm.
This is riveting visuals.
Yes, that's good. It's good pod. All right. Well, I mean, he's been in every movie.
All right, so
you're going to feel bad.
Look at Marsha Clark right now, and I want you just knee-jerk response. Would you? You took too long.
Oh, you're right.
What was your knee-jerk?
I'd rather throw 5 on myself.
What about Mason Reese on the left?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What about Pete Rose over there?
Oh.
What about the Hit King?
Listen.
What about the Hit King?
You're
on the left?
showing a picture of your. All right, hold on. The Menendez brothers, what the fuck is her name, by the way? We can't just keep going, what's her name?
Leslie Abramson, I think.
Leslie Abramson.
She looks like
all right,
Pete
you
Rose
need a
and
picture
Marcia.
from the trial.
Remember Pete Rose had his elbow up on the dugout?
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly Pete Rose.
Pete shot.
You need it from the trial, not from 2011 or whatever. This is not an old picture. You need one from the
everything's
trial.
so humid. Like, what they just lived in a fucking sauna?
All right, but you stand with me. There are a lot of women in the jurors box. They don't respond well to a natural. They don't like a woman's hair. They don't trust. Thank you.
Actually, I didn't think they looked that bad.
What now, Ace? I'm going to ask you the question. When you see that photo, would you? Would you? You would.
Yeah. I mean, she kind of looks like Carole King or something.
That's like Julia Louis-Dreyfus's hair in early Seinfeld.
It's bad. It's Marjoe Gortner from Earthquake. I'm saying their crazy hairs lost. They needed some relaxer and a hot comb. They could have won this thing.
Well, does she live on the sun? Like that's.
They could have won these cases if they got their hair normal. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just redo the jury pool.
All right.
You know, it's interesting. She also represented Phil Spector.
Wow.
I wonder if they had a hair
inspired
off.
by. Yeah. So do they take the wigs when you go to prison? Do they take the wigs? They have to take your wig away.
Yeah, because all his pictures from prison are him totally bald.
So who was the guy in Trump's circle that like showed up one day to court in a wheelchair? He kind of looks like a captain at a steakhouse.
Roger Stone?
No.
Did he show up?
Never mind. I don't want to play the guessing game. My bad. All right, let's move it along.
All right, where's Marjo Gortner?
Jesus, this guy.
From Earthquake.
I hate this guy. Nope.
Oh, yeah. Bad wig, but right. Not
thought that
girly
was-
enough. Yeah.
Jared Leto.
All right. This
And,
guy's been in every movie, Jay. You're going to need him for a reference one day.
And he's a staff sergeant.
Yeah, that's right.
With samurai knives.
You ever
With
see
his
the
knives
movie
in the back.
Earthquake?
No, I will
Oh,
now.
you got to see it. It's Irwin Allen.
Speaking of movies, Ace, I did this movie called Sweet Dreams with Johnny Knoxville playing a guy that goes to rehab. All right,
yeah.
what's next? More news? I got to hit it. I don't want to hear it from the publicists.
We were talking to OJ. OJ Simpson's family declines to have his brain tested for CTE. And I'm wondering,
Does
why not
anybody
go
on
for
that
the
side
CTE?
of the fence do anything good for anyone other than OJ?
No, but
I'm
also...
not going to pay you for your murdered kids, and you're not going to see if this guy had brain, trauma from playing football.
if that trial happened today, don't you think that would be immediately what they went to? He had CTE.
Oh, yeah.
He had CTE.
Yes.
Yeah, I killed him, but I ran into Junior Seau a few hundred times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And also,
because
when
I'm
you,
a time traveler.
when
Sorry,
you see...
I realized.
A young Junior Seau in my last days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ran into Manti Te'o's girlfriend.
When you see his early playing days with USC and they're like talking to him on practice and stuff, he's got a helmet with just some foam rubber pads inside of it, like almost a suspension helmet.
Nobody
like back
really
then.
got a running start on the guy. Let's be honest. Like it's not like people were like teeing off on the juice. He was phenomenal.
He was, but you forget, like, there's a clip of him being tackled by, like, Van Egan or one of those Raiders linebacker guys when they do the crazy head hunt, forearm thing, just literally just head hunt him, pull his helmet off, and, like, throw him on the ground. Like, back when you could do that. They did a lot of like crazy forearm shiver, coming over the middle.
Clothesline.
Didn't even throw the pass to the guy, just Lynn Swan, flying Jack Tatum, elbows.
In Hollywood, I don't know why this just popped into my head. In Hollywood Henderson's book, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
They're playing the Saints, and Mike Ditka's the special teams coach for the Cowboys at the time. And at the time, the Saints had that kicker with half a foot, Dempsey.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
He had like half a foot. And Ditka goes, hey, I'm so sick and tired. They're watching film. He goes, I'm so sick and tired of this guy, this stupid kicker, sticking his nose in the pile like he's a football player. Henderson, opening kickoff, when they kick to us, you just earhole this cocksucker, and you make sure he's fucking rattled. I'm tired of him pretending he's... So Henderson, like, the kickoff starts coming, and just he's a giant man, and just runs right at Dempsey, and just tattoos him, and just, like, almost murders him, right? And what he says in the book, he goes, everybody knows he had half a foot, but nobody knows he had half an arm also.
He had half an arm.
But nobody knows about that. He goes, the only time I ever felt bad in my football life was that little guy laying on the turf, waving that little arm at me, going, you're a real man, Henderson, waving those little peas.
Yeah,
For
he had a very deformed arm.
I never
too.
noticed. I just knew he had
the
half a
record
foot.
for longest field goal for
Was it
like
fair? He had a square
30
foot.
years.
You could have put a fucking horseshoe in there.
Hollywood, he did. He had a special boot.
Yeah, it was like a big
I
club foot.
fucking hate kickers.
Hollywood
so much so that I'm swearing.
Henderson won the lottery twice.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like big.
Also,
Won
the
big
night before
twice.
the night before the Super Bowl, he's smoking crack with hookers, and there's a knock on his door, and he opens the door, and it's
Ed Too Tall Jones.
no, it was Marvin Gaye who was doing the national anthem next day, and he goes, "I heard you got rocks and bitches,"
Oh, wow.
and he's like, "I do," and they just fucking both rolled to work the next
Marvin
day.
Gaye shows up at his. He won the lottery 3 times. Marvin Gaye shows
Marvin
up.
Gaye's last words? He was shot by his dad. What's going on? I love that joke.
Have I never heard it?
I made it up.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Had a boy, Ace.
Shot by his dad. It was a
What's
cross-dresser.
going
Well, that has to be your last words before
what's
your
going
dad.
on?
Yeah, a little different inclination. All right, let's bring it home. Jay, Sweet Dreams is the name of the
Hell
movie
yeah.
with Jay Moore. Also, Bertram's going to does some great. You can go watch yourself in the next room. We're going to show you a couple Bertram clips over there. It's out on digital April 16th. And then Joe Prano, Dirty Sports is the name of the pod. It's available wherever you listen to finer podcasts.
That's right.
As well. And he's got dates.
You look
coming up
Canadian. You look
as
like you're
well.
on SCTV in that photo.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll be at New York Comedy Club Stanford, April 25th, if anybody is in Connecticut.
Very funny stand-up. I just watched him
Thank
do
you.
2 20-minute sets. Joe Prano is where you go.com for all the dates. I'm going to be in Salt Lake City, and I think Joe may be opening there too in Utah May 3rd and 4th. And just go to adamcroll.com for all my live shows. Until next time, Adam Kroll for Joe Prano and Jay Moore saying mahalo.